Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In the yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hello and welcome to the Titan Esports 2025 Vanquisher Fall Split Week 1. I'm Mojo Pal, joined today by Crims. Crims, how you doing?
Doing good, and definitely just going to reinforce here that this is the Vanquisher League, despite what you saw on screen there temporarily. As we have here a game today for you, TMDK versus COPE. A lot of coping for the for Source Walker team here. I am actually very well acquainted with, so excited to see them play here today.
Yeah, cope not often needed when Sourcewalker is your jungler. That tends to just be a win, actually. But yes, as you said, we have TMG DK versus Cope. This is a little bit of Group B action. This is week 1 of, I believe, 7 in our regular split this season. 7 weeks for all the groups. So, you know, nice to get out to a win in the start here. But we'll have to see. Both of these teams, I believe, based on the little content, little power rankings that I saw earlier today, that Cope was placed somewhere up near the top. Do you agree with that assessment generally?
Well, if you look at the last league they were playing in, made a very deep run, and so makes a lot of sense, you know. And if you have some returning players, going to be highly rated. Of course, we have veterans in Source Walker, Jost up there on that top side. And it's just really how they function as a team. Source Walker is kind of a interesting player, not the standard jungle player. They have some interesting picks that they like to play. I will not reveal them just yet, just for some precautionary draft. I don't want to leak anything. So we'll see what they pick up here today. But yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. It's not like they're against nobodies as well, but I think that their history shows that, yeah, a higher ranking makes sense.
Yeah, completely agreed. Cope coming in as maybe somewhat of a front runner in the league, but hey, it's week 1. This is where we get to set expectations, right? This is where either team can come out and show us an amazing performance and go, hey, great, we are the team to watch here in Group B. But I believe we can hop into draft pretty soon. I believe the players are all the way through here. Hopping in draft for week 1. This is, I believe, Cope on the blue side, TMG D on the red side. Important to note, we are playing Fearless again this split. Fearless every game, regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, Fearless is basically just here to stay permanently now, much to my chagrin. But, I've pretty much gotten used to it at this point, so I'm just going to have to accept that it is here. I would like to have at least one non-Fearless tournament out there, but you know what? It's just never gonna happen.
I understand that. I'm as a viewer, I'm a Fearless fan. I would hate it if I were a player because I play like 2 champs. But speaking of our Source Walker specific picks, there's the obvious one banned out in the Master Yi first ban on the red side, the Source Walker Classic.
Yeah, Source Walker, a lot of Master Yi, don't let them play it. You do need a Master Yi comp though, so it's not as easy as people think, but it is a monster solo cube right now. The Hui ban makes a lot of sense, super strong in solo cube pick, as well as the Orianna, nice team fighting mage being removed from the pool here, and the Zyra as well. Don't want that super clear jungler, so your team is allowed to do something. Source Walker is not going to be picking up jungle first pick. Like Wukong is super strong right now, but because of both of the jungle pools, you do have to be a bit wary if you're going to pick this Wukong straight away, which it does look like TMDK opted into that. It's pretty decent into the Syndra, but they're going to have to be worried about a counter pick.
Yeah, I mean, trading things like Wukong and Jarvan, Xin Zhao, these things have been pretty common recently. The AD jungler meta is heavy. I would like to say the Zyra ban is actually something to be expected against TMG DK for probably most of the season. It's one of Crushing Rock's best champions. He's a bit of a Zyra fiend, and there it is, the Jarvan for Wukong trade, as somewhat expected. These sort of Triforce, Sundered Sky, Bruisery AD junglers looking quite strong right now, and a Sivir picked up for the bot lane to go alongside.
I do think the Sivir's pretty good. We have the J4 being picked, so you don't have to worry about getting cataclysmed on the Sivir already. As well as we see a Ziggs, and Ziggs a poke champion. What do you do against a poke champion? You gap close. What does Sivir's ult do? Gives everyone a nice speed up. So it makes a lot of sense. Aatrox's going to come in here. Pretty solid top laner. I'm not sure if Aatrox's first pick, top blind pick right now status. Maybe like game 2, game 3, but hey, we'll throw it out game 1, see what happens.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree. I don't know well enough Aatrox's matchups to know like what the expected counter pick into it is, but I would have to imagine it's not typically a blind pick. Now, interesting to see, we do see mid lane bans coming out generally from both teams. Zed, assuming that's not a jungle ban, I already picked Wukong, Cassio and Talia, and Fizz now being all of the bans.
Fizz is one of Syndra's worst matchups, not because of the lane phase. Zed as well. Not because of the lane phase. Syndra actually does fine in the lane, but you just can never side lane. You can never push anything with Syndra. Super annoying. The Braum pickup, great Ziggs combo, as well as the fact as they can block the Syndra ultimate with the shield. So I'm liking the way they're thinking about this draft here. Thresh is getting counterpicked. You're going to give them a draft advantage, going to help Sivir get to safety, but otherwise, I'm not a big Thresh fan.
Yeah, we'll have to see what comes into the top lane here to round out the composition for Cope. And there it is, Rumble, a little bit of AP damage up at the top lane. Rumble into Aatrox, I would have to imagine, is quite Rumble favored in lane.
Yeah, Rumble should be able to win the lane. Just has poke with the E, super hard to deal with for Aatrox. You can speed out of the chains. And Rumble's really good against Wukong and is a great combo with J4. So for the side of Cope here, I think that this is just a really solid team fight comp. You have Sivir, you have Rumble, you have J4, and it's against a 4 range comp who wants to keep you away. So I think it makes a lot of sense here. On the other side for TMDK, I mean, it's not like they don't have tools to win the game. Great engage out of Wukong. They could dive with the Kai'Sa. Syndra's not really good at dealing with dive. If we see Icy Rain on a good flank, could potentially be a game winner on their side. So both teams, they have avenues, but I think in terms of execution, Cope has the easier draft.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And I tend to, in most of these leagues, but from what I've seen in Vanquisher, and especially in early weeks, like, I really think that ease of execution is huge. I think strong team fighting comps with strong go buttons, like the Cataclysm, like On the Hunt, these sort of things are really, really powerful because they're just like, outside of lane phase and individual mechanics, they're hard to screw up, right? We know when we're all going together, we put the equalizer on top of everyone. That's great. TMDK is going to have a bit of a harder time, coordinating, like you said, these flanks for Icy Rain, dives from the Kai'Sa, these types of things.
I mean, they have to provide spacing for Ziggs, make sure that Ziggs is allowed to hit his bombs from range, get the poke. You can't go in too early because you don't exactly have a lot of sustained damage. I know Kai'Sa's there, but you don't want to go too late. Objective's gone or whatever, but they do have tools. I like the Ziggs dive potential with a Wukong ultimate. It makes a lot of sense to still have these champions paired together. But I mean, we all know that the tried and true classic combo is the Annie and the Wukong here. But you know what? People don't like playing Annie, so it makes a lot of sense that we get a different champion instead.
Look, you could put the Zigzar on top of the Cyclone. That works just fine. But again, I do think the scary thing is that oftentimes Wukong is going to be sort of diving in on his own, right? You do rely on Aatrox getting a bit of a flank. You don't have a dive buddy of a support, right? It's not a Leona or a Rel or that kind of thing. Braum is going to want to stay back, sort of more protecting Ziggs. It's hard for Braum to get in the action with the Kai'Sa and the Wukong. So there's potential here that Kai'Sa will maybe struggle to find the angle.
Yeah, definitely need some CC to set it up here. As I believe you were told, we are ready to start this game between Cope and True Minded Gaming here. Oh, okay, we have a little bit of delay. More time for us to talk. Mojo, I've been talking about what I like. Okay, how about you give us some insight? What do you like so far about these picks?
I mean, I tend to be with you. I really like Cope's draft. I think that you also have, like, in addition to strong team fighting in the late game and the mid game sections, you also have like pushing lanes. I mean, I'm going to assume that Ziggs pushes in Syndra fairly heavy, but like Sivir will push into Kai'Sa really easy. Sivir Thresh should be like really getting a lot of pressure in the bot lane pretty early. Rumble as well is going to push into Aatrox like most of the game, and like from there, if you're Cope, you get to decide which side of the map you want to play on, right? Do we want to play for early grubs? Would we rather play for dragon stacking? I think probably dragon stacking. It's not that much of a split push. Heavy composition grubs are great as a denial, try and take them away from the Ziggs and the Aatrox, but like stacking dragons, I think is going to be fairly easy with a bot lane that gets as much pressure as this. So I think winning lanes, like at least 2 winning lanes, and easy to execute team fight is like kind of all you can hope for in a game 1 draft.
Yeah, don't want to make it too complicated. I do think that they should be able to pick up the grubs for the side of Death Knights. They have Wukong. Once Wukong gets level 6, should be able to do a lot better in the 1v1 versus J4. And then we have Aatrox, who in a team fight, I mean, if you hit 1 Q with your ultimate on, that is just a third of your HP bar going right back up into Aatrox's health pool. So we'll see if they do get it. It's more of a priority for them than for Cope, and it's not a game winner.
Yeah, we sure will be watching out for that level 6 spike for both of the junglers, but here we go. Cope versus TMG DK in week 1 of the Vanquisher League. I'm excited that we're back. Good to get back into some League of Legends, and Amari may be in a bit of trouble here at level 1. Walking into a Braum, never what you want, but nope, escapes with +5 gold in his pocket, and we pause.
Yeah, but I always got to respect the level 1 Braum. Basically one of the best champions level 1 in the game. So much kill potential walking into the enemy jungle there. So to not burn a flash or anything is a pretty good look, because you're just going to go back to the base, heal up, and now your team doesn't have to worry about an invade for a couple of seconds here. As we're going to our pause screen, you get to see us. There you go. New technology here. We've had this for a while, but
No, this is fancy new technology here, giving you just a little something to look at our beautiful backdrops, I guess, while we're in this pause here. But yeah, I agree. Look, this is not big punish for the Thresh. I wish we could go back in time and show this to 100 Thieves who completely lost a game to a Brahmin.
You have a nice sweater. Where did you get that?
Oh, I sure do. I got this at FOFesports.com/Titan is where I got this. And you can pick up your own merch. We have a summer line. I know that summer is over, but I'm here in New York City. It's still like 80 degrees every day. I would love a Titan tank top as well. This thing is making me sweat. So you can pick this up, this kind of Titan merch, all over there at FOF Esports.
Yeah, the logo looks sleek, looks comfy.
It's not, this is a really good hoodie. I just actually wear this thing all the time. I have a t-shirt as well,
jealous.
But the hoodie's really nice. I suggest the hoodie. As we are back into the game here, pause can't stop us for too long. These players want to get into the action as well.
Yeah, also boosts your rank.
Yes,
for sure.
It does.
Definitely worth a purchase.
Look, this is the only year of my life that I've owned Titan Esports merch, and it's the only year of my life I've been platinum. So
scientifically proven to increase your ELO.
Correlation is causation. It absolutely works. Don't question it at all.
All right, back to our game here. And I mean, it's obvious that bot lane is going to be a key lane in picking up the win here. So both junglers are going to have a key focus on that bot side here. It looks like Juiced is going to just pass straight from red. Meanwhile, because of the rumble, looks like Sourcewalker wants to make an appearance in the top lane, stop this Aatrox from being strong, and then completely burst out the front line in team fights.
Yeah, I loved what TMG did here with the sort of delayed clear on the ward of the red buff. Aatrox picked up a sweeper, walked in, cleared the ward on the red buff, and just sort of made sure that, Ginger gets to clear without information, right? So Cope technically doesn't know whether this Wukong is pathing towards bot or towards top, but I think safe to assume pathing towards bot wants to maybe help his lane out of this somewhat oppressive matchup. As you can see in that bot lane, Floop and Crushing Arc already getting pushed way in just on that second wave. Sivir, really oppressive wave pushing, gets to move around wherever she wants in the early game.
Yeah, if there's ever going to be an early kill for this team comp on the side of Death Knights, it's going to be bot side. That's just where all the CC is, all the burst damage potential as well with the Kaisa. So if you are Ginger on this Wukong, you can't really gank anyone until you're level 6. So this is just the safest bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if I were a betting man and if we had Titan games on DraftKings, I would say First Blood probably not happening until these junglers are level 6. Except for some lane screw up, some kind of misstep in the lane phase. But I think largely we're in for some farming lane.
I mean, you gotta respect the J4 level 2 gank, though. I mean, mid lane's potential, double stun combo.
True.
And we'll see how Midnight's gonna play it out. It's a bit rough to try to kill a Ziggs just because of the range and wave clear, but there are going to be opportunities. The wave is gonna bounce at some point in time here. Looks like we got a freeze being set up on this bot side here. But we do have Ginger on the bot side who can break it. Meanwhile, trading in the mid lane. Sourcewalker already backing, didn't want to go for the crab, and is heading straight to bot lane for presumably a gank timer.
Yeah, it looks like maybe even on a counter gank, they may have figured out that Ginger is going to be down here around this time. Again, trying to break the freeze. Sourcewalker maybe trying to help them keep it freeze, really punishing for Kaisa with her low range. Has a hard time getting at him. And there's the lantern. Sourcewalker going in. EQ Crushing Rock flashes it. Floops flashes out as well. What? Ginger is in here now too. And Source may be in a little deep. Gets stacked up with the concussive blows. Has to flash out himself. Oh, and Sky is flashing in on the Sivir. Hits him with the volley. Gets that first blood. But Floops with the return kill. Sourcewalker taken pretty low. Plasma stacked up. Can Floops get the fifth hit? He does. Floops with the barrier. Stacks with the plasma. Gets another kill. Amari takes him down. And Ginger gets the third. 3 kills on the feat of warfare to TMGD.
Oh, that is so good for TMDK. I mean, the Death Knights are gotta be happy with that one. Lots of death in the bot side there. I really didn't like the flash in from Invade Israel. Not really the kind of first blood you want to go for, because you gave your death over to Wukong, and Floops is going to be able to pick up a kill as well. So now we have an accelerated Wukong in the J4 matchup. Is rough. The initial gank was really good. Double flashes for nothing. I think I would have just taken that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really don't think you have to flash in if you're Sivir there. And especially in this iteration of League of Legends where First Blood actually doesn't give any benefit aside from the feat of warfare, which they gave over anyway. Like
100 extra gold.
Oh, does it now? Okay. That's something, but it's not worth flashing in and dying. And as you said, accelerated Wukong getting 2 kills pre-6 is just really, really going to skyrocket him here. You can see the item difference already in that jungle. And because Source didn't take that top scuttle, came out for the counter gank immediately, he kind of gets double scuttled here too.
Yeah, that is going to be a huge boost for this Wukong. And yeah, with the Ghost, not using the barrier, it's just unfortunate because they were in such a dominant position. Now they're probably going to have to look elsewhere. Luckily for Cope, though, I mean, if you look at their draft, they could win through any lane. Lots of potential. And if they get a kill topside here for Joss, that is also a really good look. So the options are open to them. Now they just need to look elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, I respect the look. Midnight does have to walk over the Scuttle Crab vision there, though. So Icy Rain gonna see it and back off. As important to note, both top laners did use their ultimate equalizer and the World Ender are down. So Icy Rain respects it, takes the recall, maybe going to miss a couple of minions there to the 3 people on the top side. But yeah, you're right. You look at this bot lane, this is not the way you think a bot lane is going to go based on these champions. Floop's getting those early kills. Sky dying like that on the Sivir really sort of flips the script on this bot lane and is going to let TMG DK move on that first dragon.
There is technically a small timer where Wukong's not level 6. The bot ganks are still on the table, but that window is fading, and Sourcewalker looks like they're just going to clear their bot side here, and probably is going to look towards a different lane. Dragon's pretty low. Yeah,
Dragon taken down to about 1,000. Vision expires for Cope. Probably not going to be able to steal. Yep, Juice Ginger gets the smite. Sourcewalker not even going to go over the wall. I respect not attempting here as the hook does land from Amari into Crushing Rock. Crushing Rock, no flash, might just be dead. Oh, but Amari stunned up, gets hit with the Inferno Bomb. Sourcewalker in the middle of the team now. Flag and Dragon. Oh, but he falls to Stone Cold Incel on the Ziggs there on the roam. Sky now no flash either. That's a triple kill for the Ziggs. Midnight forced to run out. Flash of his own. TMG DK keeps coming out on top.
Oh, and now it's Ziggs who's gonna get the windfall there. 200 gold bounty, 3 kills picked up in that exchange. And somehow Braum does not die. This champion is so deceptively tanky. I hate that shield. It just blocks everything. Well, this is a good all-in from Jost here. Ultimate coming up soon.
Yeah, World Ender up first, though. There's the equalizer. Ooh, but a little misplaced. Not really going to connect onto the Aatrox, and the health regen from the World Ender is going to mean Icy Rain may pick up the kill. No, not quite going to get it. Joss still has flash. Both top laners have flash, actually, but Joss will have to recall. Has the teleport, so sort of no harm, no foul, is up in CS as well with the Oblivion Orb, so should be able to come back and trade pretty fine on the Aatrox, but looked a little dicey there, as maybe we get a little something over the crab. Nope, Source not going for it.
Source did not clear that bot side, by the way. So this is going to be free crabs. Level 6, level 5. That ain't happening.
Oof.
They push mid. Source can steal away bot side jungle, but Kaisa is coming. One Grubbian has been taken.
Yeah, I love this lane allocation. Yeah, they're looking for a contest. Joss is here, has no equalizer, but Sourcewalker again, flag and drag in, but the Cyclone.
Mojo there. As we have
to sort of counter invade. Floop's coming in now as well. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I DC'd for a second in there. I missed the middle of the action as we action on the bot side of the map as well. Icy Rain is here. Doesn't even need the World Ender for this one. Sky will get out with the Ghost, but Grubs are still going to go over to TMG DK as, again, they keep coming out on top. Joss forced to flash away from the concussive blows as well, while Juice Ginger finishes up the Grubs.
I mean, they didn't have Rumble Ultimate. It's all about that combo. Cataclysm plus Rumble Ultimate at the same time. They had one, but not the other. And just hitting level 6 wasn't going to solve that situation. And yeah, that is not a wise Grubs to take. And they absolutely got clapped in that last fight there. Wasn't even close. Meanwhile, bot side had to spend some sums to avoid death from Icy Rain as well. So it looks like this gold lead here, as well as the map play, is severely in the favor of the Death Knights.
Yeah, not just the gold lead. It's the fact that they're getting both of these early objectives in matchups where they should be getting pushed in, right? Like these are comps that we were saying from draft. We expect Cope to be able to get these early objectives, be able to push in, at least get the dragon, things like that. We thought maybe it would be a trade, but Cope just keeps going in for these engages and pushing like just a little bit further than their champions have power to, right? I completely agree. Trying to contest the Grubs without the equalizer, not a smart move, especially when the AD carries are mismatched, right? Kaisa was there, Sivir was not. Sivir was on the bot side. These top laners without their ultimates are just not as effective. So really good map play for TMG DK as we see the lane allocations go back to standard. Bot laners bot, supports roaming around, top laners are back up top. We may have to wait a little bit for the next fight, but maybe not too long, as I think that next dragon's coming up about a minute and a half.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have that one. I mean, look, Cope should probably stay away from this dragon for the time being.
Should have stayed away from the Grubs too, but
yeah, probably should have gave that too. Probably should switch up to this top side, play and make a play, dive this Aatrox, and have your Rumble play bot side. Rumble has the ultimate, can just clear the wave, not diveable at this time. So it doesn't look like they're going to do that, but I wish they would.
Yeah, Source is on the bot side. Doesn't really have camps to clear, though, so it's kind of just chilling out. Juice Ginger the same, has his Gromp up, but both junglers sort of just biding their time for the camps to come back up. Source going to take a reset, but probably will, as you said, open back out on the top side of the map, has his camps respawning there, and I don't think they're going to be able to contest any sort of neutral objectives.
Yep. 30 seconds away, so this is the timer to get your push in your lanes here. Looks like because of the resets... Okay, wait, they're actually going top. We'll see if they do have time to make this play, because it is going to give Icy Rain time to push, and it looks like the wave is in, and that is a back. So there is no kill opportunity. They were late about one wave, 15 seconds, unfortunately. But let's see if they're going to be able to pick up at least 2 plates. 2 plates would make it worth their time to do the swap here. Rumble's going to the bot side, catching the wave. And it looks like with 3 junglers up here, they're going to match top and support on the side of Death Knights. Very smart. I don't think they're going to get to the turret, but I mean, this is definitely proper gameplay.
Yeah, TMG knows that they don't need much of the bot side of the Floop's taking a bit of damage from the Flame Spitter over there, as the dragon will fall to Juice Ginger. We can't quite see if they got the plates on the top side. I think they did. Floop's kind of fine, has Flash Barrier, has the Killer Instinct. He's chilling in this matchup. And you see Juice Ginger is over here on the side, does have the Cyclone, could maybe look to find a play on the Rumble, but I doubt it. As Icy Rain going in, finding maybe a pick and roll.
That's
to flash out. Oh, but the death sentence lands on a Crushing Rock. Crushing Rock's flash not quite back up. Pops the heal.
Good dodge.
Oh, but he will fall. Great spell shield in from Sky. Icy Rain trying to clean up the plate if he can. Pops the World Ender. The Inferno Bomb coming over the top two, but Source flash over the wall. Puts him in the Cataclysm. Another death sentence lands from Amari. 2 kills for nothing. Go over to Cope. Bit of an overextension on the top side as Wukong seems to have died on the bot side too. Traded with Rumble. So 1 kill back to TMGD. Incel gets a plate in the mid lane, but nice comeback play from Cope.
I mean, they've completely squandered that gold lead here. It's basically even. I have to say, for the side of TMDK, making a play on your weak side, generally not advised. And you can see exactly why. As Josh is going in for the 1v1, doesn't need the ultimate here. Floops with the barrier, just burning, getting ticked down. A couple health bars are left. And that is going to be the flash burned with a Rumble with no ultimate. If he had the ultimate up, that is 1 dead AD carry.
Yeah, Flash got him to safety, but this was not advised either. Going back in, though, trying to stack the concussive blows, gets a big shield there from the Braum. Floops does pick up another kill, so it works out in the end. Justice Flash, back up so soon. Maybe could have gotten out of that one. A nice heads-up play from Crushing Rock there, and from Floops to know his limits, but blowing the Flash in the barrier, maybe not the best. You get the kill for it, so we'll take it. Little overextension from Joss here. As Icy Rain not going to make the same mistake, backing off of his tower, knows he is diveable, but this first tower should fall pretty easy to Cope.
Yeah, that's a good trade there. They're going to trade bot side for top. They're actually going to get the turret first. So in fact, they are ahead on the play. I mean, you could definitely give credit to Joss there for slowing down Floops from getting this turret. They're going to go for another one because they're up on tempo. And it looks like Midnight is roaming up, so Icy Rain should be keen to not fight on the top side here, as Cope are making a great play, getting themselves back into the game. And I mean, this basically can save their Sivers game.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting these free waves, getting the top tower gold, things like that for Sky are going to be really important. Now, important to note, the first tower did not matter for feats. They had already gone over TMGD. Icy Rain.
Yeah, Icy Rain did go for a bit of a kill there, as we have.
It hits a couple Qs, but going to get out with the Lantern.
Yeah, and Source Walker already starting up the Rift Turret here. So it looks like they are up tempo on the play because TMDK were going for the bot turret and Cope were going for the top turret. They had a huge time advantage. Now they have to get out.
Yeah, we'll see the late contest here coming in from TMG DK. Can they pick up a kill on the backside? Cyclone knocks up Amari, has no flash, stunned up. Plasma takes him down. Another kill over to the Kai, so this guy's getting fed. But Cope do get out with the Rift Herald. Source has it. They melted that thing with all their top pressure. So Herald for a kill, maybe not the best, but we could try and turn that back into some sort of gold advantage, taking a tower. And Joss is going to get some huge free tower damage here too, missing a lot of minions on the spot side as well. That's a pretty big wave the TMGD is going to miss. Tower does fall in the mid lane, though. 3 grubs on a Ziggs is going to make the split push war a little tough, even with Herald.
Okay, Icy Rain going to TP. So TP advantage in about 1:30, which coincidentally is when Dragon is going to be up. So there is a potential for Cope to pull members across the map and get themselves this Dragon for free. It looks like Joss is going to reset. Exactly what they should do is go top. It looks like they're not going to go top to try to flex their TP advantage. Instead, just going to try to tempo back bot. They want to get this bot turret. It seems like this would be a pretty good play if they were able to pick this up and the Dragon. TMDK probably going to contest, though, so they have to fight for this third Dragon. And I have to say, if they don't get this Dragon, Cope are going to be in a massive problem when it comes to Baron being up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a good time to fight for the Dragon if you're Cope, though. As you see, Rumble has his completed item, and Aatrox doesn't. Had to sort of make a pit stop for that Hex Drinker just to not get completely obliterated in this lane. And so they're sort of up an item on the exchange. Nobody's hit their second item yet on TMGD, so like the slight gold advantage they had earlier that's completely neutralized now doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is very contestable. Unfortunately, they are not getting
on a fight if I'm Cope.
They are going to be playing through mid now, but this doesn't mean that they're going to be walking into enemy vision. So far, no engage. Now it's going to go.
Yeah, Cataclysm gets popped on Floops, and the Equalizer's on top of him as well. It is TMG DK. Oh, but Rumble flashes out, still gets taken out by the Catherine Rain. Icy Rain is here, pops the World Ender, 4 alive still for Cope. Triple kill goes to Sky, picking up the kills off the back of that equalizer, but Rumble is down. They CC up the Aatrox for long enough, though. He can't get anything. Quadra kill to the Sivir. Stone Cold Incel gonna flash out. But oh my god, those bouncing boomerangs picking up the kills on top of the equalizer. Cope comes out huge, picking up their first Infernal Drake as well.
Oh, the blades are ricocheting all over TMDK. Invade Israel picking up triple kill and to the team fight win. And I have to say that was very much needed for them. They have a gold lead now. They got themselves a dragon. Going to start playing for the Autocon. But that was exactly what they wanted to do there. It was a bit sketchy going up into that line bush. But Sourcewalker gets a 3-man ultimate. Floops completely zoned out by Jost, just completely unable to do any damage. And then the last bouncing blade to finish off the Kaisa. And as much as Stone Cold Incel was trying to do, throwing out all the bombs, everything in the kitchen sink, just not enough damage to win the team fight.
Yeah, especially on these items like Ziggs in a team fight is just not going to out DPS a really, really good equalizer. Jost fell first in the team fight, and it just didn't matter at all. He got all of his damage off before dying. And Floop, as you said, a little caught out of position, didn't have the flash up at the time of that fight, got caught in the line brush, Cataclysm in, and wasn't really able to use the Killer Instinct to get out for quite a bit. So took like 3/4 of his health from the equalizer there. Really, like, not the best way to start the fight, especially on like one of your most fed members, right? This Kaisa on 2 items now already, really accelerated from those early game plays. As we see Cope pushing it in the mid lane, maybe looking to get a little tower damage, not really going to find anything. Probably, again, not going to get another play, maybe even until the next dragon or Otacon, something like that. Otacon will be spawning quite soon.
Yeah, Otacon definitely going to be the objective in everyone's mind right now. It looks like we see Ginger going for some aggressive plays, trying to find a pick to win this game. Oh, Sourcewalker. It does not EQ combo. But if we look at the lane states here, I see Rain in the top side with TP. No one is matching. So this is a timed play right now, Mojo. They have to make something happen or else they're giving up a turret for nothing. And I see Rain can just hold TP as long as their team does not commit. So this is either going to force a fight or an Otacon start. What is it going to be?
Yeah, it absolutely is the time. I would imagine you want to start hitting the Otacon here. Sivir on 2 items is going to melt it pretty quick, but they say no. I don't think they can afford to start it. They think they might lose the fight. They think they will get collapsed on. So actually, they're really just going to give this tower for free on the top side. Bit of a misstep from Cope macro-wise. TMG DK picking up some gold across the map. Really nice. Again, really no gold lead. Still up 2 dragons, about even in gold, but Cope could have really come out ahead on that play if they'd had someone to match the Aatrox.
Yeah, they could match the Aatrox. They could have just tried starting a fight instantaneously, one or the other. Pull Otacon also. I think, pulling Otacon is kind of a gutsy play, but it's technically not wrong in terms of macro because it is going to take about 9 seconds for Icy Rain to TP over. And that's 9 seconds that could be used to win a fight, but a lot of people are not going to be comfortable with that much time to win a team fight.
Yeah, for sure. And especially Sivir is a champion that needs a bit of time to put out the damage in the fight, right? Gonna need some time. Rumble gets it down pretty quick, but it looked like TMGD wasn't even ready to like be at the Otacon, right? They were gonna late contest if they were gonna contest it all, trying to give the Aatrox time.
Right,
they knew they were they knew they could get caught there, right? So they sort of backed off. There wasn't really much of a play for Cope to make. Next dragon is up again in about a minute and a half. We will 100% see a team fight for this. I think both teams feeling strong on these item spikes. 2 items should be completed for most members, probably not the top laners, maybe not for Source, but he might get it in time.
Source is pretty close, but maybe it's looking like a couple clears away here. No vision for the side of Cope, so this is gonna be pretty hard to enter in here. Otacon.
Yeah, we can see the Ziggs poke damage starting to come through. Midnight, like really taking low after just a couple of Qs. Those bombs really starting to hurt. Bot lane pushing into Cope, have to clear it out before they can walk in, and they really have no vision left here. They can see in the tri-brush, but they don't have vision of most of TMGD hiding in the bushes, seeing if maybe they can make a play of some kind. This is a dangerous place to walk in, but TMGD maybe gonna back out.
Yeah, this is a very hard position to enter river from, especially with Ziggs here, just sitting in the tri-brush and clearing waves from the tri-brush. Champion is absolutely bonkers here. They're going to start up Otacon. They notice the backs are in. Sivir is in mid lane. This is going to be a free objective. Yeah, that's just a huge win for TMDK. Cope, you have to be on the objective. You have to be there first. If you let a Braum Ziggs Kaisa team get set up with a Wukong, it is so tough to find an angle in.
Yeah, and if you're taking this reset, right, I think a big part of the reset was that Sivir finished her third item, has the BT completed now. If you're taking that reset for an item and giving the Otacon, you need to fight for this Drake, and you need to win it. So we're going to see if they can even get in, because the vision setup still goes over to TMG DK, because they haven't reset since the Otacon. They're still out on the map. See, here comes the contest, trying to walk into the line brush. Sourcewalker able to walk up somewhat uncontested. Rumble is here, has a really decent flank. Not going to find anything yet. Dragon's going to reset back into the pit.
I think DK should give.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's a menace. Ginger.
Yeah, Flag and Drag not going to connect. Ginger doesn't get the clone over the wall, but flashes in, doesn't even get the knockup, gets spell shielded by Sivir. Ginger falls immediately, floops at the backline of the Killer Instinct, going to try and get something, flashes out of the Cataclysm, but falls immediately, and Sky is still alive. Double kill on the Sivir. Equalizer is ripping through the backline, going to split up TMG DK, and they're going to have to run for the hills. Health bars way too high on Cope for TMGD to keep contesting, although Joss maybe overextends, walks a little into the banana brush. Crushing Rock going to flash out, flag down. They're going to have to run over from Sourcewalker. No smite on TMGD, so the Dragon should go to Cope pretty easily. Yeah, it does get it. Icy Rain, falls to the Cinder at the last second, and Sky is still alive. Another double kill to the Sivir. Stone Cold maybe gonna walk out, gonna have to burn the flash there as he gets hit by the stun. TMGDK stay to...
Yeah, I mean, Bloodthirster there is just so good against the Ziggs, able to
both
heal
their
up
lives
the
and the
damage.
Dragon.
Yeah, they get the Dragon as well. Good point, Mojo. And I have to give credit to Midnight and Invade Ezreal. Great job providing damage, kiting it back, saving Sivir a couple of times from Icy Rain there in the end. But this Bloodthirster 3-item Sivir is an absolute menace now. Because look at that. Healing up 130 HP from one auto. That is going to be a very annoying thing to deal with from the Ziggs.
No, this champ is going to be a little ridiculous. I think a lot of the pressure falls, as again we sort of said in draft, is going to kind of fall on Icy Rain to maybe find a flank or something for TMGD to ever kill the Sivir, right? Like, I just don't think that Wukong Kaisa dive alone, maybe if Ziggs connects an ultimate and doesn't get spell shielded, like maybe then they can blow up the Sivir, but I don't think Kaisa and Wukong have enough damage. As Crushing Rock, little overextended here, trying to clear a ward on the Baron pit, gonna get stunned up and fall. We'll see. Does Cope want to just turn this into hitting the Baron? I think they might be able to with the support down. No, just going to clear off the vision, but overstep from the Braum. Flag and Drag connects on the Stone Cold as well. He has no flash. Gets put in the Cataclysm. The Equalizer does take him down to the end. Cyclone in from Ginger, but gets hit with the death sentence as well. Sourcewalker picks up another. That's got to be Baron for Cope.
Yeah, definitely could. I think they could have done Baron, but Sourcewalker found the picks anyway. Forcing them to walk into you, no flash, is just going to be a nightmare scenario. Equalizer Cataclysm combo, no flash. That is a lost fight. So I actually think they could have started the Baron here. They find the picks, they pick it up, 5k. They're going to smite it down. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Icy Rain trying to find something, a win on the map. Does get the turret. Joss in trouble now.
Yeah, Rumble, no flash. Floops is down here as well. Ran all the way from mid lane. That Rumble is going to fall alongside the tier 2 turret. World Ender for Icy Rain does pick up the kill, but trade for the Baron, obviously not quite worth it. Really heads up play from Cope, going for those picks in the mid lane, really making sure they have a numbers advantage for that Baron. Now this Baron will, I believe, help them push out to get the Dragon. Rumble doesn't have it, which is quite important, but Rumble does have TP. He can split top. They could put everyone else down bot and really secure this next Dragon, but the gold lead starting to expand.
Yeah, mid turret's got to go. So I like Cope heading straight to mid lane.
Getting up to almost
with
3k.
The Baron ultimate, with the Baron buff, it is going to prevent Ziggs from just one-shotting these waves instantly and give them time to siege. Going to need a couple more people mid lane, though, if they want to take this down. Midnight's finally here. Icy Rain rocking straight in.
Yeah, trying to find a flank angle, but not really going to get it. Flag and Drag misses from Sourcewalker, though, so Icy Rain might be able to walk out. Was popped though. Joss TP's in right on top of Juice Ginger. Ginger does a Cyclone in time though. Crushing Rock now caught in the middle. Icy Rain has a flank. Walking in, does get the Rumble, but not going to pick up anything else. Going to fall to the Jarvan. At that point, death Sentence again. Omari does not miss on the thresh. The only carries alive on TMG DK are Ziggs and Kaisa, and they cannot defend this tower 2v4. Cope comes up huge with another one team fight.
Okay, it was looking a little rocky at the start, but Cope have stabilized. Okay, they have they got I guess they were having the shakes earlier, but that copium really did help them. And now they're in such a commanding position in this game, even though the gold lead is only about what, 5k. It's not that much, but they have the gold in the right places. And I mean, it just looks like they're going to win every team fight from here on out.
They sure do. The right places meaning exclusively Sivir, up a full item now with that Navori picked up in base. Gonna head back out onto the map. Dragon is up in a minute, and you have to imagine that's gonna be a third Infernal Drake going over to Cope. I really love the way they are finding picks as a team. We said in draft that what they had on their team was really good go buttons, right? Easy engage, and they've been using that not just to team fight, but to find picks before objectives and then secure.
Okay, Crushing Rock though. It looks like they got caught out.
Love what I'm seeing.
Intel's not here, so they're just gonna have to be on the retreat. They're gonna get pushed all the way to mid lane.
Yeah, backing out. There's the Cataclysm. Killer Instinct does get him out. Equalizer on top's going to burn. Floops down almost a half, but oh my god, that Aatrox completely disappeared. Death Sentence just a little wide on hitting the Wukong, but TMG DK going to have a really hard time contesting with the Aatrox down. I don't think they'll even be able to walk into this jungle as Cope not quite pulling off to the Dragon yet. They sent Jarvan down, but they're still looking for more picks. This Rumble does a heck of a lot of damage. Cyclone in from Ginger, though. They're going to see what they can do, but no, it is too little too late. They just don't have the damage. Floops and Incel can't find their way in. That's another 2 free kills to Cope. A free Dragon as well. Cope takes a commanding lead here in game 1.
Yeah, that is a nice pick. They're going to pick up the Dragon. I mean, I think they could have went for turrets, to be honest. I think turrets are a little more important right now. This Dragon, yeah, it's good, but you could just pick it up on the way out after getting some turrets on this bot side in particular, because Ziggs, you're just giving time for Ziggs to clear these waves here. But, I mean, 3 Dragons in a row, looking pretty good. They are 1 away from Soul. Baron going to spawn in 2 minutes. They could also just do a Baron bait whenever they want. So many options open for Cope right now, and it's just looking like they got the game in their hands.
Yeah, and they seem really well acquainted with what their options are in all of these scenarios, right? You see them moving into contest vision together. They're always moving as a unit. They're okay to take picks. They're okay to start up an objective and bait in a team fight. They really feel like they are in pretty commanding control of this game. If you're TMG DK here, what's the angle back into the game? Is it just like look for a lucky pick in a side lane?
I mean, yeah, they definitely need to find a pick before an objective here, as it looks like a pick of their own is being generated.
Yeah, speaking of finding a pick, Aatrox gonna get put in the Cataclysm, not quite. Yeah, Inferno Bomb over the top does hit a lot of people. Floops is too in deep. Yeah, Cyclone doesn't do anything. They're just falling one by one as Crushing Rock looks to pick anything up. Sky gets yet another triple kill on the Sivir, and Thresh is just walking him down. The flay into the death sentence is another quadra kill for Sky on the Sivir. Screw these objectives. They may just end the game.
Yeah, MVP actually going to Bloodthirster. Again, you thought you had this Sivir, but the BT comes through, lifesteal in a way. There's just not enough burst damage in the kit for TMDK, and well, I think they're not going to be able to end the game, but this is certainly going to be the crippling blow.
Yeah, not quite an end angle. Those respawns coming up mostly at the same time, but they get the tower, they get the inhib, they push that wave in. Cope has exploded this gold lead to about 9k at the moment, and this Sivir is so juiced. 17-2 on the Sivir for Sky is a really, really great start to the season.
Juiced is actually on TMDK. If you're gonna
True. My bad. Yeah. Well, the Sivir has been getting juiced quite a lot.
Been juicing, been hitting the peds.
Has gotten juiced 8 times actually.
Oh, hold up. I'm not sure about this.
Oh my God, the Kaisa just completely deleted. Midnight does a ton of damage. Sourcewalker putting him in the Cataclysm now as well. Flag and drag over the top. They can 2v3 all they want. It doesn't matter. This Jarvan is walking in their face and laughing at him. None of the rest of the team was anywhere near, and Cope gets a pick 2v3.
Yeah, they do actually win 2v3, but face checks are the great equalizer here. As Sourcewalker maybe at the throat of this Baron, and it's dropping pretty fast. Once they get this, should just stroll right in to the enemy's top side, pick up turrets, go for the win. If they win a team fight, gonna be the game.
Absolutely. Speaking of the great equalizer, a great equalizer is all they're going to need to close out the game from this point. Sky level 17 on the Sivir, higher than anybody on TMG DK. Rumble 17 as well. Looks like they just want to push in this top side as a group and win the game. Ooh, I like the blind death sentence. I like the concept. That's confidence from the Thresh over here. Not going to find a new one, but they will pick up that tier 2 in top lane. Going to look to take a reset now. Dragging up in about a minute. Going to try and push out the lanes with Baron buff. Secure that soul. Move in for a team fight and close out the game clean.
They're playing it by the books. Don't want to skip any steps. Fair enough here. Recalls are in. Midnight 5-0-14. Not doing all of the damage in the team fight. That one's going to be going to invade Ezreal, but certainly is putting their mark on this game. Not even falling in a lane that we thought could be a bit rough for this Syndra. Ends up doing an excellent job and doesn't even fall 34 minutes into this game.
Yeah, we'll see TMG DK looking for some desperate picks here. As you can see, maybe trying to catch the Thresh and the Syndra out of position. Midnight, just as you hyped him up, though, the caster curse comes in. Floop's now falling down pretty low to the equalizer. The source on top of Stone Cold Insult. The Ziggs is down. The Kaisa is out of the fight. And Sivir is on the flank and the back, just melting through them. They do not need Dragon Soul. They will happily trade Midnight to take the game. Kaisa going to recall on her own, try and defend this by herself. But there is nothing you can do against this 6-item Sivir in your face. He can taunt, he can dance all he wants. That wave disappears in an instant as Cope is going to walk into the base. They pick up a really, really clean game one.
I wouldn't say a clean game one.
Yeah, a clean last 20 minutes maybe of game one.
Yeah, they've recovered very well. As Floop's trying to mount a defense, but there's none of that to be had in this game. First blood in this series going to be Copium here, setting a 1-0, and it was looking a bit rough. We were talking about it for a second, looking a bit rough. They were highly ranked, and we were like, oh, maybe we've overestimated their capabilities. But they actually just showed why they're a team to be reckoned with, because if you slip up, they can come back in a game. And that game was supposed to be won by the Death Knights, but they just made that little bit mistake that gave Copium enough room. They were huffing it, gave them all the energy they needed to be able to win and take away that victory.
Yeah, the only bit of Copium I saw in that game, I think, was flashing in as like a level 3 or 4 Sivir in the bot lane 3v3. That was perhaps Copium. But look, when you're used to playing Sivir at the end, when you end up with this many kills, putting out 44k damage in the debut game of the split, I think you're allowed to flash in and into a little bit at level 1. Now, again, as you were saying, signs of life from TMGD, right? A really strong early game in lanes that we thought maybe shouldn't be strong, right? Getting really good early advantages, getting those first 2 drakes and the grubs. The challenge for game 2 will be finding a way to convert those early leads into the later objectives. I think most of their fumbles here were just in team fights.
Yeah, they didn't really set up a good defense when Copium were basically making their moves into the river, the ones where they won, mainly around that line brush from mid lane. They just got engaged on not what your comp wants to do. They want to sit back, hang him tight. Ziggs throwing the poke down. And they were able to get that set up. They got Autocon for free, of course. But that's the problem with their comp. If you mess that up at any point in time, you're going to lose the team fight straight away. So when we were talking about the ease of execution, you can see here how important that is for winning the game, because you have to keep up that level of execution the whole way through, and it's way easier said than done.
Absolutely. Death Knight's going to be going back to the drawing board before this game 2, but stick around. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with game 2 of the Vanquisher League. Hello and welcome back to the Vanquisher Week 1 Group B matchup. Again, my name is Mojo Powell. Krim's still here on the desk with me. And in case you missed it, after a brief early game stumble, the Conduit Copers came back and smashed TMG Death Knights in the ensuing team fights. Now going into game 2, what are we looking for from TMG for them to come back?
Well, I think for True Minded Gaming, they should pick a simpler comp. I don't think Wukong Ziggs was a bad start. Obviously, can get a pretty decent comp out of that. But the Sivir pick from Conduit actually was just such a banger pick because it means that they're not able to easily dive Sivir. They don't have the J4 to lock down the Sivir as well, which is like one of the easiest ways to get the Sivir out of the game. And so they didn't really have a clear way to dive. They had to go flanks off the Aatrox. Weren't able to get that because of the Rumble pick later in the draft. And so picking something that is going to be a little bit more solid, right? Like a Annie Wukong, J4 Rumble, there's a bunch of combos like that. You get Vi Talia, give me something that's straightforward. Everyone knows is going to work, and you don't have to be making a complicated draft around something like a Sivir counter pick because you got something that's really solid.
For sure. Vitalia still up. Ori Nocturne also still up. These kind of mid-jungle engaged duos. I completely agree with you. We want go buttons, right? That's what we saw from the comp from Conduit Copers. That's what they had with the Cataclysm and the Equalizer on top and these types of things. And then Sivir just putting out damage all around. And look, it works really well. You walk into them, you try.
Nope. Well, we're getting some problems from Mojo though, but he'll be back eventually. We'll see. That black screen will be welcome back to Mojo in a second. But yeah, I think that a little bit of draft adjustment, they should have won that game just based off the early game. The unwise flash in as well as the ghost from Invade Ezreal. I mean, look, the Wukong was super ahead. The Ziggs was super ahead. They had it in the bag. They just needed to defend their vision a lot better around that mid lane, and it would have been their game. So I think they're probably going to end up picking a draft that's a little simpler. We'll see, because just Wukong's out, so a lot of AD junglers are really strong now. It's not as easy to counterpick, and of course, Orianna, unless it gets banned, Orianna, Azir still in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of those AD junglers, we're going to see high prio and things like Nocturne, Vi, Xin Zhao, these things that are still in the pool, right? Again, we are playing Fearless Draft. J4 and Xin Zhao will be out, as well as these power picks, the Rumble, this type of thing. But yeah, I think completely agree. Like, TMG should not at all be too upset about this game one, right? They had a lead. They really could have won that game. It was kind of in their hands for a bit. They fumbled in the team fights. That's okay. We don't need to fully change things around or get doom and gloom. We won in the lanes. Let's go back. Let's do that again, and let's try and convert into more mid-game pressure.
Yeah. Tank Top's still in the game right now. Ornn is a big one. Sion's a big one. So
Sion's huge.
Should probably pick up one of those as we're just waiting around for draft.
Yes, sir. Looking at this, maybe some engaged supports as well. Like, as much as I like Braum as a champion, Crushing Rock not really able to find much to do on the Braum pick, right? Didn't really feel like he had very large impact on the game outside of those early team fights, which of course he's going to crush. But we're going to see. I'm expecting some of the same bans here. Master Yi going to be banned. I going to be banned as well. These are things that, if you're going to be tuning in for all of Vanquisher, you should just expect every game with these teams. Yi is going to be banned. Zyra is going to be banned. They're never playing these champions. That's okay.
Yeah. What's surprising was the Azir being left out. I think Azir's still super strong pick. I mean, you knock 5% off his attack speed, big deal. Azir still Azir. So I still think that we should be seeing Azir at this level. We should be seeing some really good comps built around him. Orianna's gone, but Nocturne Galio still in the game. So we'll see. Xin going to be removed here. So that does leave Levi in a pretty good spot, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Vi first pick. Also wouldn't mind Nocturne, these types of things. But as you said, Vi Talia is up and available. You can pick one. If you pick one here, they may pick the other. But no comfortability in these champs. I believe these are I want to see the exact same bans as game 1, and Aurora going to be the first pick coming out for TMG DK.
Aurora has been pretty solid. Safe. You're not really going to lose lane. Provides dive. I don't think she's the strongest, but she's also a champion that doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. This could be a flex pick, but Source loves to play Jax. So this might end up being into the jungle role if you give him the opportunity. As we see a Karma pick coming through, also a flex pick. Karma mid still possible in the current meta. So we'll see. Ezreal is probably very likely to be picked up here. As Volibear, I'm just going to be... Volibear is so jarring to me because Jax absolutely destroys Volibear. So I do not see this Volibear pick at all. I don't know why it's happening. This is a huge mistake.
And Xayah going to be the counterpart to that as well.
So
Yeah.
why don't we just pick Ezreal? Just pick Ezreal here.
We
There's
for
no
sure
reason not to pick Ezreal.
take
Pick
Ezreal,
Xayah.
play
What
as
is this
Karma
strat?
bot. We win lane. It's great for Cope.
Oh. Okay.
Is that?
But why? I feel like we just pick Ezreal though. Is there no reason not to? As we do have a Karma mid now being confirmed because of this Yumi. Rakan being banned away makes sense. TMDK. Oh. So
Okay,
Yumi
this
is
makes more
Yunara.
sense. Yes, Yumi is actually Yunara. We've just been informed we don't have access to Yunara on this broadcast feature. Yumi is Yunara. That makes way more sense. This was looking a little whack. How do we feel about Yunara Karma as a bot lane potentially?
It's a better bot lane, but in terms of, I mean, Ezreal works out too. Yunara is actually really good against Volibear because you can slow him and run away pretty easily still. Probably does better damage against most champions, as we have the Alistar going to be picked up here. I don't see a Silas angle unless we're willing to send Aurora top, and then we can pick Silas, but I'm really not seeing a full AP topside. Seraphine can be picked up here as support into the Alistar. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It gives you a little more lane pressure. I like the Seraphine pick. I agree there was maybe an angle for a top type thing. Oh,
wait. Oh, Silas port? Top? Silas top? It's a flex pick, whatever it is.
it's a flex pick. I'm gonna imagine it's like a Aurora top Silas mid volley jungle type situation, but I guess we'll have to see. Silas also a viable jungler in this patch, and Mbessa potentially gonna round out the comp for Cope.
Okay, where is this Silas going? I mean, there's Silas support, I guess. If you really want to do Silas support, you can do that. I think Seraphine makes sense in the mid lane versus Karma as well. Aurora top, I guess that's what it's gonna be. We'll see if we get the swaps here. So I see Rain gonna be piling in the Silas.
Yeah, wow.
This is the Mbessa. Not a matchup you see too often. I think Silas probably does win early because Mbessa is pretty weak early. But as soon as we hit mid game, Mbessa is just gonna slice up the Silas if that's the case. Oh, okay, we're having it updated. Silas is going to be going into... No.
Something's happening. We're switching around these champs. We're not 100% sure.
This is right. This is not better.
No, you don't understand. We're playing Seraphine in every position.
Double Seraphine. No. Oh, we have support Xayah. Okay, yeah, this totally makes sense.
exposing my strats. I'm a support Xayah gamer. No, we'll see when we get into game.
Let's just go to the game to see what happens. Okay. No, but the order's not right. Okay, well, I think part of the problem we're having is that right now in game it's really hard to order up. So I think the order is probably incorrect. So we're just gonna wait for game and then we'll comment on it. But we can talk about the overall drafts. First thing I want to just say from Team Death Knights is they only have one AD champion, which is actually statistically a very bad thing. Most 180 comps have a very hard time dealing damage because as soon as you itemize magic, that cuts off a lot of damage from the enemy team. So Death Knights have to kind of win early to be honest. They have to get a lead, because once the MR comes in, it's going to be very hard for them to actually pick up the kills, because all you do is you kill AD and then they can't damage your team at all. But on the other side, Cope, they have a more well-balanced team damage profile.
Yeah, on the bright side, if I were going to give the Cope take for the Death Knights, it would be that Xayah as an AD is a harder one to pick off, right? Going to be difficult to really get onto in the team fights, especially like Mbessa Jax, like, can try to do it themselves, and they'll have some decent amounts of success with that, I think. But if you're playing well as Floops, you should be able to get out of a good amount of that sort of guaranteed CC from the two of them, and maybe play decently well in the front to back. But you're right, I do think the 1 AD could be a bit of a challenge, especially trying to deal damage into this Karma, right? And this is a Karma that, like, will actually have some gold, right? It's not a support Karma. This Karma is going to get the money, is going to have the items, is going to really pump out those shields and make it hard for TMGD to get much damage in those team fights. Now, I agree, they do have to win early. We saw them win early last game. We know they can do it. The question more is what do you play through if you get those leads, and how do you keep those leads going into the rest of the game?
Yeah, so they're pretty much a full dive comp, right? And you're talking about the Karma Shields, which is going to be a factor. Not the easiest team to dive, but they also don't have a really good anti-dive champion. Karma's kind of like their best. Alistar's pretty good. But, I mean, Alistar's actually just providing a really good ultimate for Silas to come in there and just be unkillable. But they don't have that super OP anti-dive champion on their team. But they have a lot of mobility. Jax is not the easiest to kill. Alistar's got a lot of anti-engage CC that they can play around with. It's all going to be on this Yunara to be able to kite away. Can you kite them? You got to use your abilities at the right time. Dodge the chain from Silas. Make sure Volibear doesn't flash Q you. There's a lot of these factors that are going to be able to decide the game. So if Yunara gets away, like 3 dive champions into Yunara, and you don't kill Yunara, well, good luck. Team fight's over. She's just AoE the whole team down. It's not going to be winnable. But if they do get onto the Yunara, like the Seraphine ultimate comes through, Charm, they get Lay of the CC, team fight's going to be a lot better for them. So this Yunara is basically going to be make or break for both teams.
For sure. We'll have to see if he can get away from all the CC, as he did last game on the Sivir, right? Was a really masterclass carry performance from Sky. Can he do it again as we hop into game 2 here with Cope versus TMG DK? Now we can see how these lane assignments actually panned out. Yeah, all right. It's a Silas top into the Mbessa, Jax jungle, Aurora mid into Karma, as expected. So yeah, I do think that the Silas should win early into Mbessa. The matchup may shift around level like 9 or so, I think tends to be the breakpoint for Mbessa. Mbessa starts winning most matchups at around level 9, and Silas just strong in the early game anyway. But I also want to say the Silas ultimates, like, aside from the Alistar, are not, this isn't like a mega 1v9 Silas game, right? Like, there's a couple decent things, but some things we're not as happy with as well.
The MS ultimate is also good. Obviously, Alistar ultimates are really good. So you get 2. That's usually enough to juggle.
For sure.
I do think that for the top side of Copium here, you just go for the MR straight away. I mean, it's going to provide so much value. MR on Jost is going to go so far for like a Grubs fight. It's going to, as well as Sourcewalker also getting MR. I mean, of course they're going to go Merc Treads. Everyone's probably going to go Merc Treads, and that's going to be a really good boon for their team. And if they do get the feats, they're going to get the upgraded boots as well, which is going to be huge.
For sure. I do want to say some interesting lane assignments to see here. They do have Icy Rain in the mid lane, battling it out on the Silas against the Karma, and they threw the Aurora up top lane to try and punish that Mbessa in the early game. We'll have to see how it pans out. I think that Silas would have won against Mbessa earlier, but maybe they're saying they can get even more Aurora against her.
I think Aurora should be able to do better early. Just range versus melee. But the reverse also applies to Silas, who is going to have a worse time into the Karma. There's just no way Silas does anything versus Karma. She has the shield, she has the tether, and it heals. Like, you know, Silas is not going to be able to get anything done there in the mid lane. So if they want to do this for now and then maybe swap again later, depending on certain situations, makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll end up swapping back at some point as we see a really strong start from the bot lane here for the Death Knights. The CS really going in the Zaya's favor. Yunara having a bit of trouble CSing under the tower there, getting the waves shoved in really quick. 6 CS to 14. Now there's a couple more minions to be farmed, but like not really. That is actually a pretty just strong start in those first 3 waves.
Yeah, it's maximum 13 here versus 17. And Alistar is super weak early, and you can't do anything against ranged champions until at least level 3, and even then, you might not win the matchup regardless. So, and yeah, look at the HP difference as well. They're just gonna poke at this Yunara, and it's just gonna be a rough lane. You're gonna have to wait for Source Walker to come down and make a difference.
For sure. I do want to say also, I do really like the Seraphine pick for Crushing Rock. Specifically, Crushing Rock is absolutely a mage player. Seemed a little ineffective on the Braum, and I think really going to be able to exert influence, especially over the lane on the Seraphine. He looks really comfortable in this position, putting Sky down 10 CS already, as we see a bit of a lane gank coming out from Source. He's pathed up towards the top side with the double buffs, looking to maybe just relieve a little pressure from the Mbessa. I don't think they're going to get much done, just trying to crash the wave in, I guess.
Yeah, just making sure top lane crashes this wave. As a melee, you really need to crash this wave, or else the lane is over quite early. Dive coming through. This is a bit rough.
Yeah, there it is. Flash Q onto the Yunara. Not a chance to flash at all. Pops the ghost. Doesn't get out. Oh, the return kill does come in, but Alistar the one picking up the gold as Volibear falls. That's just a sort of a free reset for Volibear, as Yunara is going to miss so much more farm from this death. This is so punishing for Cope.
Yeah, it looks like Ginger just said, hey, I am actually just not going to survive this. Flash stun just to secure the kill onto Invade Ezreal, which it was a great play, because not only does the kill not go to Yunara, it is going to be taking away so much CS from this bot laner. 20 CS differential already is absolutely massive. And if Yunara can't do any damage for these team fights, Copium are going to be in trouble.
And just like, how do you play? Look at these items. It's longsword and dagger versus pickaxe, right? You're coming back into this lane. You're going to go down even more CS to the Xayah at this point. I also want to shout out this top matchup real quick. Joss doing his best on the Mbessa, trying to keep even in CS. Not quite going even completely. Going to farm up this wave, though. Not really down as much as I would expect in this matchup. That's quite terrible for Mbessa.
Luckily, Mbessa is one of the champions that can get on top of a ranged top laner, just because so many dashes. So always have that threat, but that definitely comes later and is activated at level 6 there. So being able to pick up, getting that crash from Source, being able to pick up these minions is very good look. But it did cost their bot lane, though. It came at a price.
Sure did. And with the bot lane being that far ahead, you're going to have to look at this Hextech Drake. It is now spawned on the map. TMG has absolute bot pressure, complete control of the lane. Silas gets the push in mid lane somehow as well on this wave, at least. Ginger's in the air. You have to imagine this first Drake is going to go pretty uncontested to TMG.
Like another dive. They saw in the ward. They're not backing off. They're greeting for this. So
yeah,
far.
we'll see. Silas takes the Alistar ult, but yeah, they're not going to go for it.
No, I mean, if you take the Alistar ultimate, that means you can dive, because the turret will not be able to do that much damage. And then you can pick up the dragon. This is a bit of an optimization mistake, because you certainly can dive again and also get the dragon in this situation. And remember, Death Knights need a lead. I think it's much more valuable to go for that play and then get the dragon later.
Yeah, I would understand going for the play. I think maybe backing off, trying to take the more conservative approach. They know they can get the dragon. They're maybe not 100% on the dive. I will say Source, nice play with the invade on the other side of the map, steals away, I think, just the wolves from Ginger, but getting something on the cross map play, especially when grubs aren't back up yet. Nice to do, but gonna be really hard for Source to get much on these neutral objectives with both of his side lanes getting really pushed in. His flash in from the Alistar, gonna force a Crushing Rock flash as well. Oh, but Sky gets stunned up there when he flashes in, not able to find anything. Juice Ginger is now here, but doesn't have the flash up yet. Floop's flashing in, puts out the Featherstorm and the Blade Caller back. That's a kill onto the Yunara. No ultimate. Alistar either means 3 kills in the feat of warfare. Go to the bot lane for TMG Death Knights.
Looking really good for their bot lane here. Again, off to an early lead in the bot side. Floops expending the flash for another kill, but Invade Ezreal losing another wave. Source Walker's here to pick up the bits and pieces, but not what you want. They're delaying this Yunara so much, and now Joss is in trouble.
Oh, a really, really nice absconded duck from Silas does sort of deny the public execution escape. Actually makes a target onto the Silas, but Joss does still get out, still has the flash. Gonna try and stick around and save this wave, but I think it might be a death sentence. TP coming in from midnight. Yeah, gonna save him from the dive. I like that. Trying to relieve the pressure. It already pushed in the mid wave, so safe to do from the Karma. Saves his top laner from having to use the flash. I like the attempt to make a play on both sides, but not gonna find anything for TMGD. Although Alistair, maybe slightly out of position, doesn't have a flash here.
He's trying to make a bit of engage for Source Walker. Now they're here. 2v2.
Yeah, Source making a lot of space with the counter strike.
Nice
Ooh,
block.
good leap strike. Icy Rain tries to get in there with the Abscondo Duct, hits the W, not gonna heal enough though. Icy Rain's gonna fall to Source. That's a pretty big misstep. And Jost is here as well. Doesn't have the ultimate, though, not gonna be able to find anything more onto the Volibear, but a nice pickup from Source with a good bait from Amari. I like the play, and it may give them some good pressure onto the Grubs.
And you can see there, Ginger not able to stop Source Walker when he has the block up. Once the helicopter comes up, Volibear completely unable to stop Jax at all. And that's why it's such a good matchup. And they're able to find a small victory on the map. But looking at the bot lane CS, again, it is not a good look.
Yeah, they had a bit of a window there where it looked like maybe they could force onto the Grubs with Silas dead, but Source walked up and took a huge chunk of damage from Stone Cold Incel on the Aurora, just like really, really chunked him out. So I had to back off, and the Grubs are going to go to TMGD as well. With, yeah, as you said, Xayah pushing in down there. Huge CS lead. If you just looked at the scores, it might look similar on the scoreboard to last game, but the difference is that bot lane CS. This Xayah is so accelerated, has the Essence Reaver completed at 9.5 minutes.
Not gonna be able to play against the Xayah for a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
Gonna need the Kraken to at least make some headway here.
Looking for play into Stone Cold, has the Between Worlds and has the flash. I don't. Oh, Source flashes in with the counter strike. Oh, E in the wrong direction. Stone Cold jumps back into them. Doesn't get the ulti to the other side either. Is gonna fall. A nice side lane pick from Cope, finding an angle with the flash counter strike, and bit of a misplay from the Aurora. Will get him a little tower damage, but won't net them much else.
I think Stone Cold was probably dead regardless, but that was not a good look. Bot lane though, look at this turret. Just free access for Floops here. Omari is gonna try to get here first, stop the minions. We see Silas, Icy Rain looking for the play.
Yeah, he's looking. Juice Ginger here as well. They may look for a dive. Volibear, I believe, doesn't quite have the ultimate, but Icy Rain may be caught out in the jungle. Jost face checks him in the brush. Ginger can't quite go in, knows he can't stun up the Jax. Public execution comes down, and the bear is dead immediately. Jost flashing over the wall as well, eating into Icy Rain. Icy Rain in a lot of trouble, but the charm lands on a Source Walker. Floop's trying to get out, doesn't have the flash, already used the Feather Storm, and he will fall. Cope picking up 3 kills in the bot side jungle. 4 actually, with Icy Rain falling as well. And just like last game, Crims, it's the same story. Cope coming back after an overextension from TMG.
Oh boy, this is gonna be some PTSD for True-Minded Gaming here. This is repeating. It seems like deja vu. And again, they make just too far of a play, too deep, and they lose out. Bot lane here, just getting punished as well. Exactly the 2 members you don't want, because Floops being accelerated really solves their team damage problems. If you have a Xayah that is just pumping out damage, well, now that you have 4 magic dealers is not such a big problem.
Oh, flash in from Amari, lands the headbutt backwards. Crushing Rock, I believe, has the flash available, but nowhere to go. Surrounded 3, Cope picks up a pick in the bot river, and they're gonna get a dragon off of this as well. You're right, this is such a tilter for the Death Knights. The exact same way they threw away the first game, it looks like the second game may be slipping out of their hands as well.
Yeah, losing this dragon, they're losing control, and the lead with Xayah at the same time simultaneously. This is just turning into a disaster. So far, it still should be okay. They can still play through their Xayah, still has a lead, but it's getting closer.
Yeah, might get a bit of a pick onto the Mbessa here as a little bit of consolation prize. Joss going in, trying to see what he can get. Has the Eclipse, gets a little bit of a shield, but it's not enough. Shutdown goes to Stone Cold. Incel Floops. Oh, the bot side makes a good play too. Sky falls in an overextension, trying to find a little damage onto Floops, but really not sure what that fight was. Like, yeah, you guys won a team fight, but the Zaya is still really fed. The Zaya is way ahead of you still. Has the Featherstorm available as well still. This is such an overextension. Alistar goes in, pops in Breakable Will. Yeah, Featherstorm aggressively with the Blade Caller as well. Source going in, pops the ultimate, but gets charmed, gets stunned up as well. Gonna have to run away, has no flash. The rest of the team's coming down to collapse. Can they pick up another kill? Looks like they might be out safely unless Icy Rain wants to go for anything. Has the Unbreakable Will himself. Ginger's here as well. Not gonna get anything else, but Floops grabs another kill. Look, Cope, you guys want a team fight, but you still can't just 2v2 the Zaya. She's still really strong, and if this ends up resulting in a bot lane tier 1 falling, Icy Rain going in, pops in Unbreakable Will a little early, but flashing onto Sky. Oh, the Yunara is dead again. Cope, we thought they had an angle back into the game. Actually, whoa, the fight's not done yet. They teleported in behind. Joss is here, has a public execution. Source finds all 4. Great counter-strike on a Ginger. Volibear is down. Public execution will get right in the middle. Joss ease in. Floops down as well. Icy Rain caught. Crushing Rock caught as well. No flash on either one. Oh, they are getting completely wiped off the map. Cope comes back with a great TP from Joss.
Oh, and they're gonna get the TP to catch Top Wave as well, Mojo. They covered all their bases.
Oh, they're so good at this. They're so good at this, man. It looked like they were losing out on the play. It looked like maybe they'd overextended, but just at the last second, a great TP from Joss. And as you said, Midnight covers the other side of the map. Now, they did lose a tower. The tower in the bot lane fell to the minions, I think, as well as the grubs. So a little bit of a win for TMGD. The gold lead is only 2K, but still, it's feats. Yeah, okay. They'll get feats on the side of TMGD. That's a little helpful, but I don't know. It's looking a little dire. Even the fights that start out well, start out with a pick onto the AD carry. Even if they can't win those, like, I'm not sure how these mid-game team fights are going to go around third Drake.
Yeah, the team fights are going to be a bit rough here. Unfortunate that Yunara is basically delayed quite a bit here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this build from Ginger, and I am just all forms of confused here. As we have an engage coming through. Flash being used.
Ooh, yeah, flash in with the counter-strike from Source. Floops take it quite low, but has the Featherstorm as well. Seraphine ultimate gonna go wide, but Source gonna fall pretty easily. Guys, we gotta stop going for picks onto the Zaya with ultimate up. This is the way that we throw the game as Cope. Alistar headbutts Silas away. Silas should have the dash back up in a second, maybe able to abscond, abduct into the Alistar. Nah, Chain's not quite long enough to catch him, but look, this is how we throw the game, guys. We really can't be looking for picks onto the Zaya with ultimate.
Well, you can definitely trade her ult, but you got to get out. Make sure that you survive the play to go for the second dive and then finish off the Zaya.
Flashing in just to pop her ultimate, though, is like, it's not a trade that we love.
I think it's okay if they actually survive, but the problem is they don't. And then it's actually really bad. But the Featherstorm does go down at the cost of their lives. They are going to lose the Rift Herald, which could potentially lose them a turret and dragon if played correctly from True Minded here. It looks like they're going to be making a play on this bot side. Icy Rain going to have to just dip. Otherwise, turret dive coming his way. Joss has been holding mid lane so far. And I mean, I like that their AD carry is on the side of the map that they're making a play. And it looks like that's going to net them a turret because of the resets coming out from TMDK.
Yeah, it's a nice heads-up play from Cope, moving around the map, trying to get some gold back onto this Yunara, as again, as we've noticed, she has fallen so far behind in this early game, down 2 items to 1, pretty much exactly in the spot lane. Gets a little tower gold, excuse me, so that'll help a little bit. But I do want to call us back to what you were talking about earlier, this Volibear build. I guess it's their way of trying to compensate for the low amount of AD on the team, but I'm just not sure this is good.
I mean, when you just go Sundered Sky build, like the old Volibear build. What is this Black Cleaver? This is
Yeah.
Volibear doesn't even do that much physical. I mean, it just doesn't make too much sense to go Black Cleaver on a Volibear. And I'm assuming that's a well, it's not called Frost Fist anymore.
Iceborne, yeah.
Gauntlet. Iceborne Gauntlet. I'm assuming that's an Iceborne Gauntlet, just looking at the items, but still, that's not that great item. So I'm not liking this Volibear build. I guess they are providing AD, but I mean, it is poor comparison to an actual AD champion.
Yeah, 100%. I think maybe they're also saying sort of all of our eggs are in the basket, and if we can get a little shred onto them, then we'll be dealing a little more AD. But Valibear item's not going to matter in terms of this dragon. TMG Death Knights are going to pick up the second dragon. That's nice. Cheeky from Sourcewalker walks in with the smite, cancels the recall Jost. Maybe a touch caught. Mbessa has like 10 dashes, should be fine. Yeah, public execution out. Ooh, does get charmed up.
Oh.
Yeah, stunned up by the Valibear as well. Wow, he might just fall immediately. The turret disabled. It wasn't even necessary for Juice Ginger. They're going to pick up a kill on an overextension from Joss. They get one turret off of this. They may get the Herald to crash into a second one as well. TMGD moving around the map and finding some gold.
Yeah, that was Joss getting caught by the tip of the Seraphine ultimate there. And that just spelt their doom. Icy Ring gonna pick up mid as well. TMDK, they're fighting back here.
Picks up the Unbreakable Will. We'll see if he has to use it. Stunned up, still hasn't used it. May think he could just walk out. Yeah, Floops is here, and this Xayah is absolutely shredding. Source making a lot of space in the middle with the Counter-Strike. Icy Rain is behind him, though. Has to jump out with the Leaf Strike. Joss teleporting into the middle of everyone. No kills just yet. Oh, but Sky may be caught. Hit with the root, flashes out. Everyone gonna survive? No. Oh, Floop's taken very low. Still has the Feather Storm. Maybe able to bait them in a little bit. Sky kiting forwards, ultimate on, wants to make use of the cooldown while he has it. Public execution not up. Maybe hard for Joss to find an angle in. Sky getting the damage done. No deaths on this fight, but it is tense between these two teams. The gold is completely even. Anyone could win at a moment's notice.
Bars low on both teams, but nothing to fight over. Looks like Icy Rain's just going to be put to reset. As, I mean, I don't see Otacon spawning anytime soon, but map position is all they're jockeying for at the moment here. Just going to collect on the gold situation. We see Icy Rain, just one item so far, and Joss has hit that Eclipse level 9. This is where Mbessa should be able to side lane, and it's not, there's nothing really TMDK can do to answer. They just have a Volibear gank. Otherwise, I think they lose both side lanes, and so far, Cope could use that. I mean, look, 2-item Mbessa now. So yeah, Cope could definitely play the side lanes here, and there's not really a good response.
No, that Shojin is a huge, huge spike for Mbessa, especially with the Eclipse. She can absolutely 1v1 the silos on the sideline. Should be fine into the air as well. Yeah, Ginger face checks. Gonna get caught up by the Alistar. A little bit stunned up, but may have to back off. Icy Rain here. They're a little worried about the flank. They're TPing in, though. Otacon is spawned on this side of the map, so a play could result in an Otacon take, but the teleport may have been a little too much. Not quite sure they can get a fight. Because again, Floops is here. Floops is on 2.5 items with everything up. Icy Rain dashing in though. Maybe caught a headbutt back into the middle of the team. Pops the ultimate.
Oh, good stun.
Oh, put the Between Worlds, hits everyone. Seraphine ult misses through the middle though. Ginger trying to get as much damage as he can. Joss in the middle of everyone, has to flash out. Oh, Caller finds two on the stun. Alistar with a huge flash knockup. He's going to go in, but he's going to fall. Floops is on a killing spree, still not down in the middle of the fight. Stone Cold Insult putting out a lot of damage.
Oh,
Floops with the blade collar. This Xayah is so pumped. Sourcewalker tries to get in there with the flash counter strike, just can't quite get it. Triple kill to the Xayah. 2 left on Cope, but they are low and they are running. It's a 3 for 2, but these teams are really duking it out.
that was such a close fight. And Floops there using that gold lead. The recall just annihilating in the team fight. They're having a hard time punching through. And yeah, they don't have anyone who's super tanky outside of Amari with a ultimate. And so when you saw, as soon as their bruisers engaged in the fight front to back, they're just getting ripped apart by Floops.
Yeah, absolutely. We were pointing out the 2-item power spikes completed on the solo laners of Cope going into that fight. But what we just need to always reiterate is that Sky is on 1 item and Floops is on 3. This Xayah is so insanely far ahead that these team fights really, like, the solo laners just can't really find the angles. Midnight doing well on the Karma, but just can't really have as much of an impact in these team fights as the Xayah can when she is this pumped. Otacon is going to go to TMG DK. They're going to trade it for the mid tier 1, but that is worthwhile. We take those every single day with Dragon spawning in 30 seconds as well. Cope is going to have to get back here and try to contest if they want to keep them from Soul Point.
Yeah, they should really try flexing their side lane prowess here with Just on this Mbessa, because they are super powerful right now. And these team fights, not quite ready for it at the moment. Almost caught Floops at the end there with the execution, but
Yeah, it was close.
not enough health pool. It was super close. Seraphine there also providing value with the heals and shields. They're just not ready to take down this Zaya just yet. Midnight really needs to start landing the poke onto Floops, because that's the damage that's really important.
Oof, lands a little bit on a crushing rock there. Seraphine down to half before the first
go
fight
straight
starts.
in.
Public execution onto Floops. Has the Featherstorm, but doesn't have flash or barrier. Doesn't need him. The Jost way overextended. Went in without the rest of his team. Thought he could find a pick onto the Zaya. He could not. Alistar flashes over the wall. Yunara falls for the Mbessa's sins as well. TMGD is going to get a free third dragon here off a little bit of hubris from the Mbessa. Maybe thinking he could catch out a Zaya who was just right with the rest of his team.
Or maybe didn't see the rest of the team. A bit of a
true.
tunnel vision there. I really would have preferred Joss to just be hitting the side lane turret right as Dragon is spawning, because no TP to match, would have been able to at least pick up the turret, probably for free, but kind of just jumped the gun on the team fight and ended up getting 100-0 quite fast.
Yeah, really easy to do. Look, I'm an Mbessa main. I do this all the time. You see an alt angle, you go, I got this, you die, and you go, guys, come on, you got to follow up on that. But truly, I completely agree with you. I think especially with 3 grubs, especially with the side lane advantages that they have, Cope should be trying to push out to the side lanes more. But that was kind of their last chance to look for the cross-map side lane play, because now TMGD is on Soul Point. The Death Knights can get Soul on the next dragon, and Cope kind of has to fight them, has to meet them in the middle there. Now, Yunara will be a little closer, has 2 items now as Jost maybe a little caught out here. Sourcewalker goes in, pops the Featherstorm from Floops, not going to get caught up by the Blade Carla, but Alistar is here on the flank. We'll see if he can get in, gets rooted up. Floops trying his best to get her damage. Ginger is here as well, though, stuns up the Alistar. Sourcewalker in the middle of everyone. Jost taken quite low, gets the shields. Ooh, the charm's not quite coming out for Seraphine. Big Hero Redemption is here, and Aurora is the Between Worlds. They're going to pick up all 3 here. Jost's going to fall, doesn't have the flash. Amari, no flash either on the Alistar. Sky may be able to save him with a little bit of a slow on the Yunara. Oh, but Midnight tried to come in and save him with the Karma as well, and he's just going to get caught. Like, he's gone to abduct. Icy Rain flashing in. This Karma is as good as gone. 3 kills for TMG DK. Cope can't do anything about it.
Yeah, let's get it Baron as well. Easy pickup. And yeah, I think Amari kind of just really slow on the ultimate. I guess he really wanted to save it, but you just pop that right away. Go for the engage. Bloops did not have Featherstorm. That's your time to go in, and they just botched the engage.
Yeah, you could see what they want to do. They really think they need to pick off this Zaya whenever they can, but Cope looking a little desperate, looking like they're huffing a little bit of the copium with these engages, right? You just can't keep engaging onto the Zaya. They're protecting her so well. They know that Floops is the president of this team comp, right? It really doesn't matter that much what Silas does. It doesn't matter that much what Aurora does, as long as they're making space for Zaya, and so far they are. I think it's going to be really hard for Cope to catch him out.
Yeah, they don't have a front laner. They should not fight front to back at any point in time. They will be losing all of those fights. Volibear is just much more tankier, as well as the fact that Zaya is going to be doing a lot more damage. So they really need to stop doing these front to back, especially with the Seraphine too. It's just impossible. Play the side lanes, play the flank game. Copium are not doing a good job of that, and you can see why they're losing.
No, the Copers have been forced to retreat into their base. As we see here, the side lane matchup we were looking for might not actually be won by Mbessa. Joss gets the Eclipse Shield, gonna do a little bit, but Icy Rain healing up so much. Should be able to win that 1v1 easy. Yeah, Icy Rain solo kill on Joss in the side lane. Even the side lane plan we were wanting for them doesn't end up working out. Icy Rain has to recall, has the teleport if he wants to come in. They may look to push in and get at least the inhib here. No Mbessa for Cope for the next 30 seconds means they're going to have to back off. Yeah, Between Worlds pop. Volibear jumps in as well. 1 tower down. Inhib going to fall as well. Cope running for the hills. I don't think TMD is going to get much more after this. Going to back out of the base, but they got what they came for.
Inhib to secure map lead, map pressure in this game. And yeah, Icy Rain getting that solo bolo. Not good news for Cope, because now I don't know how they win the game. This is where this is where it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find the Cope angle for our friends over here at Conduit Copers.
We need to move on to heavier stuff. The hopium. Just hope something happens.
Hopium, where you go in and just go, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out, and that seems to be exactly where their minds are at. Sky flashing away, Alistair already down. Silas is in the middle with him with the unbreakable will on top, and Floops just does so much damage. They pick up a kill onto the Xayah, maybe a overextension, but it is not enough. Ginger and Icy Rain do enough damage at this point that Cope, you could pick off the AD carry all you want. It doesn't matter. Silas is here. He is accelerated. He is scaled into the game, and that is an ace for TMG Death Knights. They may be able to push this through mid and just end the game right here.
Yeah, they just need a wave, and that wave's being escorted by Stone Cold. As Aurora now chipping away at this turret. And it looks like they are going to be able to find revenge in game number 2. It was looking like a repeat of the first game, but no, they in fact are capable of closing out a game as they tie the series 1-1.
They sure do. The Death Knights come back from the dead, even up the series, and are going to bring us to a game 3. TMG taking on Cope 1-1 here in the series, off the back of 2 impressive AD carry performances in a row, right? Sky in the first game on the Sivir putting up 44k, really shredding in those team fights, and this game Floops just completely running the map on the Xayah, right? Uncatchable, winning all the team fights. Hey, they did the thing they did last game again, right? They got an early lead through bot lane, winning early skirmishes, turbo through like 2 fights in a row. But this time they converted, right? They kept winning fights from there. They realized what their comp needed to do. They protected the president. They kept Floops alive in those team fights, and it paid dividends. Both of these AD carries have shown us that they have the potential to hyper carry in these late games. You just need to get them there.
Gotta give credit to Ginger here. Hate the build. Blackbeard is terrible in my opinion. But you gotta love the dedication to getting your AD carry a lead, because that level 4 turret dive was the game difference for Death Knights versus Copium here, because that just set Sky behind so much and just unable to find anything in the rest of the game. They tried to go for 2v2s with a very stinted Yunara, and it just made the game so much more difficult to play out. So credit to Ginger for going for that play, just flashing in, saying, I'm going to die, but my teammate's going to carry me through the rest of the game. And Floops definitely did.
Absolutely. And especially, look, in week 1 of the regular season, that's the kind of thing you like to see, having that sort of trust in your teammates, right? Knowing, look, if I put the gold on you, I know you can carry us through this game. We're not going to look for our hero solo plays. We're not going to try and solo carry the game in every role. We know where the gold is going. We know how to win the game as a team. TMG Death Knights brings us to 1-1, but stick around. We will be back with game 3 in just a few short moments. All right, hello and welcome back to the Titan Esports Vanquisher League Week 1 Group B match. My name is Mojo Powell. Crims is right here with me. We are at 1-1, all tied up going into the final game of this best of 3. So far, it's been sort of a showdown of superstar AD carries, I would say. Complete carry performances from each side on the AD carries. What picks are we looking at going into Game 3 that are still on the table that these teams can maybe use to close this series out?
Yeah, so we still have the Vi, we still have the Vi Talia, we still have Azir. Hui was getting banned, Orianna was getting banned. Something else is Lucian's kind of really strong right now, so we might see a Lucian pick. But yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of these really OP picks being basically ban jailed. Like Zin's getting banned away. We have the Ori, the Hui getting banned away still. So we'll see. Maybe someone wants to open up a pick. Otherwise, why aren't we picking Azir? Azir's busted.
Yeah, totally fair. I think Azir, at least in Game 3, we should see. I also think you're right. Absolutely. These playmaking junglers are kind of the name of the game. So far, we've seen pretty much exclusively that from both teams and using those playmaking junglers for like early game skirmishes in the bot lane that so far have pretty much decided the games. I mean, in Game 1, it went a little reverse where TMG won the early bot lane skirmish and then ended up losing the team fights from there. But like early bot lane skirmishes to get one of the AD carries ahead so far have seemed like the name of the game. And these aggressive junglers, things like the Vi, the Xin Zhao that's still on the table has been getting banned a ton. These types of things would make that a lot easier. Azir, I completely agree. Really powerful. We should probably just pick it at some point. Orianna still on the table. Nocturne still on the table as well. These types of things. And a lot of engaged supports, right? We haven't seen much engaged support. So if we want explosive skirmishes down there, Rel, Leona, these kind of things are up as well.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising Rel hasn't been picked up yet. In terms of the engaged supports, I mean, she's like number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the champ.
She's pretty tanky, really strong AoE engaged to win that team fight. Nautilus, Nautilus is not really tanky anymore, but in terms of getting a team fight that you want, has just the best buttons in the game to start it off. So surprising that we haven't had those picks. Of course, Alistar has been taken away. No more Alistar in this series so far, and I think Leona is the weakest one. So in terms of engaged champions, we have Rel and we have Nautilus who have gone basically I mean, most series, all the engaged champions go first. You get Rel, not Alistar, and then then everyone starts picking stuff like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll pick Leona, maybe I'll pick like like Amelia or something. But we're kind of having a reverse of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting support meta. Now I know Crushing Rock is more of a mage player. That sort of Seraphine style is more his thing. The Karma actually
Nico.
kind of being denied. Yep. Yeah, Nico would be great. Really great engage. If we can get one of those champs like Nautilus, Nico, Rel, something like that with a Vi on the team, with a Talia maybe as well for like a push and move type mid lane matchup, like we could do some serious damage in these team fights. Because that brings us back to what we talked about in Game 1, right? That worked so well for Cope, which was just like having strong go buttons, right? Ultimates that engage for us.
Yeah, and with Sivir gone, engaged champions should be in full swing here. So we'll see what they end up picking. In terms of mid lane, yeah, there's a lot of mid lane bans going down. Syndra is basically gone, who's not even like a really prime mid laner. We've been having questions about the Azir, but there's also like on the other side, you get the Yone as well, or Akali. We have an aggressive pick if you want to pick Akali. So really interested to see where they can go with the mid lane champion pool.
Yeah, the mid laners so far have taken a kind of supportive role in this series, right? Both mid laners playing really solidly in both games, like no egregious mistakes, not a lot of like killing or fighting in the mid lane, right? I think we agree that the Karma pick was maybe not as impactful as they wanted it to, but Midnight farming up well the whole game, played really well on the Syndra in Game 1. Stone Cold great on the Aurora, made a lot of space in the team fights, but neither of them has had like a real standout carry performance, and those champions are still available. Like we said, the Azir is up, that kind of thing. Orianna is available. So maybe if we can get some of these champs, we can move the focus a little more towards the mid lane, especially as the AD carry pool dwindles, but still tons of hyper carries down there too. Like Jinx, Lucian, like you said, still available, especially if we're looking for early pushing power, these kinds of things. Ezreal is still up. The Karma's gone, but play Ezreal with anything.
I mean, Kaisa is not here anymore, so Ezreal
Yeah.
pick is pretty easy to just slam. Um, if you're really feeling like it, MF, or because this is game 3, pressure on the line to win the game, maybe we just pick Smolder. Like, can we just get a Smolder pick in there?
Love it. Well, I mean, I would love it, but also like someone has died as soon as the game starts, basically in bot lane both games. So
Okay, I've
maybe
actually keyed in on the 80 carry, the prime 80 carry that's flown under the radar the whole series. Where's Corki?
true. Nerfed on this patch a touch, but not enough to take him out of the meta completely. I do think we could easily see a Corki game. There's the Zyra ban again. We're never going to get to see it. The Master Yi ban. You already know what to expect with these teams. I imagine most of the rest of the bans will be the same. We'll have to see if, like, I believe it was Oriana Hui and Xin Zhao and not quite sure what the sixth one was, but they've been the same every game.
Yeah, in Fearless, the bans usually never change. Ooh,
that's new.
Jinx. What would it be? Why would you want to ban Jinx?
Look, I mean, I think both these teams know. They know what the series has been. The series has been a battle of, like, scaling 80 carries, right? Like hyper carrying into the late game. If we could take Jinx off the table, that sort of thing works. Yeah, Aphelios, I do think a great responsible. Blanc has to be off the table. Xin Zhao notably still available. I would love a Xin pick.
Yeah, Xin Zhao's open now. And Source played Jax. So the best Xin counter Volver is also up. So Hui unbanned gets picked up here. So things, you probably want to pick something that could dive onto the Hui. J4 is obviously the best, but they're gone.
Xin Zhao does it.
It looks like they're going to be picking up a Xin Zhao instead. And you could pair that up nicely with a Talia. Might be a very good pickup. Or you could go something like the Xerath, where it's like you're just going to hit them from 1,000 miles away. Okay, Veigar with the Rage Cage.
Yeah. Trying to do the same thing, trying to bait out some engage as well, just to stack up into the late game. Hui, I will say, specifically in Vanquisher League, Hui notoriously completely busted for whatever reason. Hui runs this league. It's just how it works every split, it seems like. So a good first pick. Trundle, also one of the AD junglers remaining in the pool. So both mid jungles are going to get that sort of AD and AP mix of damage types, and Nautilus is going to be the lock-in for Amar.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go Nautilus just for more reliable engage onto the Veigar versus Rel here. But Nico going to be picked
Nico,
up.
you were right.
Something about the Trundle pick now makes it so that you can play tanks. Really disincentivizes DK for picking a tank. And right now, just looking at the current draft, a Scion is absolutely busted. Are they going to pick Scion? Probably not. No one likes to listen to me. But Scion pick is
they
very
picked the Nico,
strong.
they picked the Nautilus. They're listening to you a little.
Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. So we'll see. They're probably going to pick Olaf or something because they hate me. But we'll see what they end up picking.
We're really pinching the
bans.
pool. Yeah, pinching the pool, especially these utility ADs, Ashe and Jhin out of the pool. Caitlyn Callista, there's sort of early game power pushing ADs out of the pool as well. Notable picks up. Lucian, like you mentioned, not particularly amazing with any of these supports. Ezreal's up.
Oh,
no way.
Blind. That is the blind vein is crazy.
That's
especially
insane.
Since they already have the Nautilus. So, I mean, you could pick like Corki. Pick like
Corki.
Corki.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Just Corki.
Pick Sion. Pick Sion, you win the game. Pick Sion, and you and the game is over.
Good here. Sion is so good here.
Oh, they're not great into Vayne, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but Vayne's not going to deal enough.
Fine, Vayne's just bad.
Okay,
Gwen.
they're going to go Gwen instead. I don't know. Maybe a Renekton pick. We'll see what ends up being the case here. Looking like that's going to really just destroy Gwen when she goes melee. Okay, there's the Olaf. Dude, I'm Stradamus.
What have you done?
I know exactly what people are not going to pick a good champion.
That's crazy.
Olaf's not even that great here. It's going to be real. It is good against Hui, but I mean,
you were like, they hate me. They're gonna pick Olaf. No one listens to me. Immediately, I was like, wow, what a specific champion. There's no way they're picking Olaf here. Like, that's so random. No, they fully insta-locked that. They heard you. They're listening. I know they've been in the stream. I know some of the players were in the stream earlier. I think they're listening to you, Crims. They're trying to pick up the secrets. Wow, Olaf picked with a Vayne, Nico bot lane. I simply cannot imagine that's a good matchup into Corki Nicholas.
Yeah, I just don't think this is. I mean, look, they're gonna be. I mean, maybe they get pushed level 1. It really depends how strong Nico is going to be in the wave. I think Corki's actually stronger, so they're not going to get level 1 push more than likely. I would actually send my bot lane. I would escort my bot lane down to the brushes with my team just to make sure they get the push. And that's really going to put a damper on Nico's prowess in the game because the level 1 harass from this champion is very strong. And if you're mixing it up with the Vayne, you're going to lose a lot of that strength.
Yeah, for sure. Vayne not really known for the power in the early wave pushing, but you're right, Nico can handle a lot of the brunt of that. We'll have to see what they do. I think you could get her down there if you run down with it. We're also gonna have to see where these junglers want to path, right? We've been seeing bloody early game skirmishes down there, and if we're just running straight down to the bot lane, that is where I do love a Xin Zhao, right? I really like Xin Zhao, but
hold up.
I
think they're gonna put Vayne top.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna put Vayne top. Maybe they'll lane swap back eventually, of course.
Sure,
because
I can see it.
Jost is playing Trundle. It looks like, at least here. If that's the case, they can send the Vayne top early.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the Trundle does end up being top, I think it's absolutely the right play. You put the Vayne up there, and you
versus Gwen too. Ooh, do they lane swap? This is good. This is interesting because I do think the lane swap will help a lot for the Vayne in lane. So
it'll help the Vayne, but like, how much will it hurt the Olaf, and is it worth? Because I think often, like, I think it's right to do that lane swap if your top lane is also like perma hard losing, but like Olaf, I would imagine really wants to be up there level 1 in both of these matchups.
Into the Gwen for sure. Into the Trundle.
Yeah, Trundle you probably lose. Everyone loses to Trundle.
I don't think you want to duel with the Trundle Q. The biting, not a good situation. Might get some rabies. And so what you do is you swap on the third wave. So on the bounce back, the 80 carry is able to be there to catch the wave, and you don't have to push out as a as a melee. The Nico might change things up. If you jungler paths bottom, you could also get the wave pushing back your way as well. So interesting. I don't know what the plan is, but I'm gonna say keep an eye out for the Vayne going top.
All right, well, we'll keep our eyes on what lane Floops is opening out into, and whether or not Icy Rain ends up in the isolated 1v1 up against Joss in the top lane. Now, as far as the rest of the map goes, like mid lane matchup, who gets the push here? I imagine it's Hui for pretty much all of the game.
Pretty much. It's gonna be Hui. Just better range and range AoE than Vayne. And the jungle is gonna be scaling for Source. Does play the Gwen, of course. Xin wins early very hard, but it's not about directly matching up into Xin. It's about playing that scale game and then just absolutely destroying the carries in a team fight.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a scaling game from both teams, with the Vigar as well gonna scaling pick over for TMG DK. But like we said earlier, we love go buttons. We really like this point and click engage, and there is a Nautilus on the side of Cope. They're gonna have the upper hand in engaging into those team fights without needing to find creative angles, right? I do think that in order for Xin Zhao and Nico to properly engage a team fight, they need to get a little bit creative, and that puts a bit of pressure on TMG, right? Can they pull off these fights around Dragon? Can they find the right angles? Olaf also, like, not the greatest team fighter, requires some creative flanking, really needs to get in there, and like might not have a ton of assistance unless Nico's putting up a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, the Trundle pick, because Trundle should be very strong in this game. You have the Xin or the Olaf you can chomp down or ulti. I mean, ulting Olaf, not so good. He just takes it off with his own ultimate Ragnarok, but Xin, not so much. Gonna be able to do the same. So, I mean, they did nerf Trundle, I believe. Trundle did get nerfed, not on this patch, but the patch before. So he's not as strong
Corki on this
as we
patch.
should expect him. Yeah, Corki also got a little bit of a little touch. So Trundle, it's really depending on the build. So if this is like a team fight Trundle, we're gonna see Trinity Force tanky items. If this is a side lane dueling Trundle, yeah, Xin, Olaf, they are not gonna be able to handle this champion. just going to be clubbing you with just clubbing you at max attack speed. It's going to be very difficult. So it really depends on the build. We don't know what they're going to go for. I do see the lethal tempo. So this is going to be more towards the side laning. I'm just going to beat you up 1v1 style.
Absolutely, which is the way that I think Trundle is often played, especially in these matchups. As there was a little bit of a pause, but we should be getting into the game quite soon as the players look like they are back and they are ready. Here we go.
Oh,
Game 3 of the first series. Yes, they sure are. They are fully escorting their bot lane into that brush, trying to get them the prio. And I see Vayne heading towards the bot lane as well.
That was an eco.
Oh, I got. Well, Vayne's also there.
I'm just kidding. I was about to say. All right, so they are going to escort. This should give them prio, and that's going to make Nico very sad. They're going to leave. They're going to just drop off their AD in support. They're not going to be looking for any early invades here. As we are going to see, it looks like just based off this current position, not enough time to run up top either. We're not going to see that LCK style AD carry level 1 swap. So that means they're going to be playing into this Corki. And Mojo, I think they're gonna have a bad time.
I think so too. I cannot imagine that playing Vayne into Corki is much fun in the bot lane, but we'll have to see in the top lane, right? I agree that isolated 1v1, like if we're taking the full out trades, Trundle should win in the end, but Icy Rain picked the Olaf into it. Now, maybe didn't know the Trundle was going top right. I do think that could have been a bit of a last minute flex from Cope, but Icy Rain feels confident on the Olaf, is ready to play in this matchup, and really does need to get some kind of a lead if he can. We'll see if anything comes out of this. Just lands the phosphorus bomb at the start, but yeah, they are easily going to get the push in this lane. Crushing Rock using his Q on Omari, not on the wave. Push goes all the way to Cope.
You know what's funny is you transform into Vayne as Nico and you lose range. Do not transform into Vayne. It is terrible.
Because the champ is bad.
Yeah, but Nico Caitlyn, that is level 1 is so abusive. But anyway, that was banned away. They are losing prio. It looks like Corki and Nautilus are taking it, and that is a good sign for Cope here. Jost as well going to be getting prio. So far, as predicted, this is going to be 3 prio lanes. Mm-hmm. We'll see if Source can do anything with it though, because unfortunately they are a Gwen.
For sure. Gwen is not the playmaking jungler that we're really looking for in these games, right? Not going to get a ton done with the extra pressure, but it's going to feel really safe to scale up, right? Knows that he can get there and defend these pushing lanes if need be. He can counter gank with the stronger laners. But like, yeah, I agree. We're not going to be looking for crazy invade plays or like tons of like insane neutral objective setup because, yeah, we're playing Gwen jungle. We just don't have the early game like skirmish CC power, but again, 3 pushing lanes is good no matter what, and Cope have had that at least 2 of the games this series.
And there was an option to invade Ginger here on the spot side, but they are not going to opt for tossing up the game level 3. They'd rather make a play down the line here as they pull this wave. They know Zin's here, so they're not interested in getting ganked.
Yeah, so they're going to let themselves get pushed back in here. Bot lane should end up in a CS lead for the Corki once this wave crashes in. Midnight and Some Cold Incel gonna end up doing the same thing we've been seeing them do in most of these games. They are just gonna be trading farm pretty much all game. Like, I really don't think any of this action is still gonna be around the mid lane. Still gonna be playing largely rather supportive roles in these team fights, and it may end up again on these AD carries to see what they can get done in team fights.
Walker faster on the clear, as we know. Zin very slow. Lower champions here. Ooh, running mid lane here, but if it looks like there's a war going to be going down onto Raptors. That's going to be capturing the pathing of Source here. But I mean, they're going to be a camp behind.
Yeah, doing like the exact same thing as Source, just like 10 seconds slower. Because yeah, it's just Xin Zhao. They both walked in, warded Raptors after taking the crab. But yeah, he's going to be behind, so he will be late to any of these plays if Source does want to look for a gank with any of these stronger lanes. CS lead hasn't really materialized down in the bot lane, and they do have to push once this wave bounces back. Joss, though, in a really great spot up here. Icy Rain feeling bad, running low on mana. Wave is pushing away from him down on CS. Not where you want to be as an early game Olaf.
I'm not sure if this was intended, but the fleet footwork on Olaf? Is that the play? I feel like Conqueror or, if anything, Grasp if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I would go Grasp, but I mean, I guess it is a pick of like, oh, I know I'm not winning the all-in-one Tempo or PTA or any of those things, or even Conqueror, but like, yeah, Grasp I do think would have probably been better than Fleet. Maybe just feels like he needs, I don't know, some of that sustained power, maybe needs the move speed to get away from the Trundle, but I don't think it's going to do that much this game. I agree, it's an interesting pick.
Yeah, I mean, it scales better than Grasp. That's the thing, but yeah, I just don't see it. I think Grasp is I think Grasp is better. Maybe needs the precision tree, as the TP does get used by Icy Rain here, and is going to be buying. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a screen.
Yeah, but a Cull and Boots, which is not quite the combat stats you need.
Heavily. You just TP'd, and now you're back to the same HP. Oh.
This is what happens. You buy a Cull and Boots, you come back in, you don't have skirmishing power. You're still going to lose the 1v1 to Trundle. This is what Trundle does. This is really, like, honestly, I think an incredibly smart use of flex picks from Cope, right? I do think they probably locked Gwen with the intention of going top and Trundle with the intention of going jungle, but after seeing the Olaf pick, Joss goes, hey, I can play Trundle. This is a great matchup, and now is dominating the early game in this top lane. Oh, Icy Rain's going to have to recall again. Sourcewalker is here, pushing him off. Trundle pops the ultimate, steals so much stats before Icy Rain even hits level 6. He's going to stay, but I guess he could get dove.
I mean, is kind of forced to stay, but Sourcewalker going to back. More clearing to do, more scaling to do on this Gwen. This is going to cost them a dragon, though, to be honest. I really don't think a dragon should be going Death Knight's way, but it is going to be the case. Now it is Joss to his probably going to be using a TP to get that wave in here. Midnight finding a trade against Stone Cold. And
yeah, just a
farm fest.
A little bit of stacking in the mid lane, a little bit of trading, not going to do too much. Although, honestly, a very sizable CS lead up for Midnight. I do think this has been true in potentially all 3 of the games, at least 2 of the games, if not all 3 of the games so far, that Midnight has very quietly amassed like a really sizable lane CS lead in all of these games. Like, again, very quietly playing really well at like a nice supportive role on the team, but like playing his role well, getting the gold, farming up good. Not great to be this down on CS as the Vygar this early, but not the end of the world. But with the losing Olaf as well, the dragon stacking is the sort of silver lining for TMGD, but not the greatest start to the lanes.
Well, I mean, Vayne has more farm than Corgi.
Somehow.
Boy, are they not doing anything with this Corgi Nautilus bot lane, huh?
Yeah, not yet. We're going to wait till... I do think they probably could have contested that dragon, but Source spent a lot of time top lane looking for a punish onto Icy Rain that he couldn't find, so ended up just being a cross-map dragon. Next dragon, maybe the fight Pillar comes out. Icy Rain is just taking such a beating from the Trundle. This Trundle is so oppressive in these lane 1v1s.
Yeah, and they are definitely pushing the issue here. Oh, Sky in trouble.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, that is a Nico.
For floops.
Yeah, Vayne.
Vayne's just going to scale. This is not what I was expecting out of game 3 here.
No, me neither. I was expecting more bot lane pressure coming out from Cope, but Nautilus is using his pushing ability, I guess, to sort of roam around. Ginger is up here trying to prevent the dive as Sourcewalker comes as well. Joss is just going for the tower dive. Ragnarok has popped. Oh, knocked back by the Xin Zhao, though. Sourcewalker going to take a huge tower shot as well. Oh, no. The dive is a disaster for Cope. TMG comes out on top.
The ultimate from Ginger just sealing the deal there, knocking Joss back into the turret. Just not this unfortunate timing that as Sourcewalker walks in, they meet Ginger face to face, and Joss is just going, "Oh well, I guess I'm gonna turret dive alone," and ended up giving over a kill. First blood, even. Oh, Ginger getting caught with the grubs.
Yeah, we'll see. Should be able to finish these, at least get the 2 pretty safely. Yeah, flashes out of the pit, the back, Midnight. Pushes them off. Sourcewalker will grab the 3rd grub, but the 2 go over to Ginger. Off the back of, yeah, it was a really great save. Read the play completely. Made Jost kind of look like he was going in early by himself and alleviates a lot of pressure off of Icy Rain, getting him a kill, getting him that gold. Maybe he can get something done in the 1v1 now, although he's still down a lot of CS.
Yeah, it doesn't have much HP. Ragnarok is going to come online sooner. Oh, that's an early pillar. Let's see here.
Yeah, they are just going straight for the 1v1 fight, but it's not a 1v1 anymore as Source shows up at the last moment. Gonna snip through the Olaf. Ooh, Joss comes back in with the chomp. Actually looked like he was gonna lose the solo 1v1, especially without his ultimate, but it is not an isolated fight. Source is here. Kills now 2-2. Icy Rain punished again, and this swings the top matchup back completely in Jost's favor.
Well, Icy Rain might be able to TP top in time. It looks like that was going to die. Unfortunate here. Meanwhile, bot side, nothing happening as we have Floops 10 CS up in such an illegal lane. Oh, Icy Rain, does he stop the back? Does
Can he catch him?
To the right spot? Oh, doesn't need
Found
to
him.
with the ward.
Grabs him with the Q, pops the Ragnarok just to ensure he gets it. Pillar hasn't been placed yet. I don't think placed. It doesn't matter. Lands the undertow. Feet of Warfare goes to TMGD. Joss took a little too long pushing at the wave. Gets caught sleeping on the teleport from Icy Rain.
Yeah, that was just good timing on the TP there. Needed to push out. Sources on the bot side. Looks going.
Yeah, Source is here looking for a lane gank. Crushing Rock gets a nice pop blossom, but he is going to fall. Doesn't even have time to flash. Really heads up play from Source Walker, making his pressure known on all sides of the map. Dragon spawning in 4 seconds as well. You have to imagine it'll go down. Ginger is in the area, has the tunneler picked up, but oh my god, Nasher's Tooth complete already for Gwen means that they really don't want this fight. This is going to be a free dragon for Cope.
Yeah, they are getting that power spike just in time for this dragon to even it up. And now the game's kind of turning to Gwen here. Source Walker has all the gold for the team. Oh, it's a hex plate on this Trundle.
Bet you didn't expect that one.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I just didn't think about that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen
I'm not
Hexblade.
sure if it's first. I'm not sure if we go hexplate first, but you know what? It's still a good item.
Look, man, it gives the good stats.
It
That's
is good.
that's all I need. Health, AD, attack speed. Trundle likes these things. Just really gonna hopefully push his lane lead even more with the hexplate. Yeah, and these first item power spikes coming in for the entire top side of Cope before anyone on TMD got them. Right now, the Death Knights, they've got the jungle Sundered Sky coming in now, but it wasn't there for the Drake. Weren't able to contest that. Now, Vayne's item should be coming in pretty soon, and they're gonna want to look to fight maybe around the 3rd dragon, but they've got some time. Rift Herald could be contested, but I got to imagine with the amount of top pressure that Trundle has and the mid push from Hwei, it'll probably end up going to Cope.
Yeah. Okay. Source Walker walking up here. Trying to find
trying
a
to-
lane gank. They
to be lane
smell
gank,
blood
like-
in the water here, but Icy Rain is backing, so just was able to peer into the future there and saw that this was going to be a death.
Yeah, not falling for it this time. Source keeps trying, though. I mean, he's full clearing and just looking for a lane gank. He's got kind of nothing else to do. He might as well. Doesn't find anything. No harm, no foul. Icy Rain will get back out on the map a little quicker thanks to the Hex Skates. Get back up, defend his tower, try and catch the wave as it pushes back out. Bot lane CS still somehow in favor of the Vayne. Really, like, impressive from the bot lane of TMG. Juice Ginger is now here in a lane gank as well. Source is here matching the gank. Both of these junglers reading each other just so well, trying their best to stay out of vision, exert their pressure on these lanes. As here we go, Nautilus going in, pops a depth charge. Pop Blossom onto 3 though. Ginger is here, gets in there. Nautilus falls as soon as he flashes. Crescent Guard out, pushes Source Walker back. They're gonna take the win. Oh, Midnight TP'd in behind them. He's completely isolated, gets completely chunked down by the Xinjiao. Ginger really low, Thunder Sky procs coming in. Oh, Midnight just doesn't fall. He's still alive. Floops gets in there. No, he still can't even get him. Midnight is walking out. Incel turns back around. Source Walker now a little out of position. Can they catch the Vanguard? Oh, the fear. Oh, Midnight played it so well. He got out of there. Source Walker picks up a quadra kill at 13 minutes.
Midnight and Source Walker just dancing on them. Oh, and Icy Rain's going to pick up the turret top side. Sorry, Josh. But
did he get
what
1v1
an
kill?
outplay. Midnight just teetering on the edge of death, able to survive and just play the range. And Source Walker is the benefactor, picking up quadra kill. We were talking about juicing. Well, Source Walker has been hitting the Trembolone and is just going to be absolutely massive in the next team fight.
And Source is exactly where you want your gold on this team. Source is a carry jungler player through and through. He has won this league before. He knows he can carry. You put a quadra kill on him this early, you could put the game in his hands. And I also want to shout out Midnight. I said earlier that he'd been quietly having such good games. This was a very loud, good game. He found himself completely out of position, and you're right, just danced through that team fight, kept himself alive. What a fun Nico positioning here. I think we all know that's you, buddy. There he is. As again, also, what happened on the top side of the map? Did Olaf got a 1v1 kill and took a tower?
Yeah, it's looking like that was the case here. Icy Rain finally finding an advantage up in the top side. And with the Ravenous Hydra, it's going to provide lots of healing and lane pushing, which is going to help to isolate control in that top side there. So good pickup there. Cull's almost done. Looks like getting value out of that one, even though we criticized it earlier. So yeah, there's good looks for both teams here. Team Death Knights, they do have that Olaf who's looking mighty strong. And on the other side, Copium with Source Walker on the Gwen, looking like they're going to be a monster. 2 items already.
Yeah, respect to Icy Rain for getting it done on the top side of the map, giving his team something to be happy about. Ragnarok has to pop, though. Look at how much damage the Copers do. Sourcewalker on this 2-item spike at only 16 minutes is such a threat running around this map. Look, they may find the Olaf again before he gets back to the tower. Yeah, Gwen dashing over the wall. He can't even do it, man. He is completely pushed off of his tower by this trio. Now, the cross-map play does get to come through. They will grab a bot lane tower for Floops and Crushing Rock, which is really nice for the Vayne. Corki fell as well here on the bot side. So, gonna keep pushing in, but the Rift Herald charge will get one. Actually, they can save it on the first tower, charge the Rift Herald in the tier 2. They may even get the tier 2. Gwen does so much damage to these towers with Nashor's Tooth.
Oh, that was a little early. Icy Range is healing up off the eye, but that is gonna be 2 turrets. Picked up on the top side. That is the advantage of Rift Herald. If you ever are in a split map scenario, you can guarantee a win because you will have that Rift Herald. It's like an extra person for taking down turrets here. They are giving up Dragon. So that is going to be 2 dragons over for Team Death Knights.
Yeah, well. Death Knights with a really great cross map. They got a tower. They killed Corki on the bot side as well, so sort of secures them. The Drake Corki wasn't back out on the map yet. Gwen decides to just stay up top lane and get that advantage. And look, TMGT is the scaling team comp anyway, right? They want to scale up with the Vayne, with the Vigar. I mean, Olaf falls off a little bit. There's good scaling to be argued on either side, but especially for Vigar, they want to wait a little bit more before they fight. So having these 2 dragons gives them such a safety net. You know this game will go at least until Vigar becomes relevant.
It's kind of fake scaling. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there is one kind of scaling that they can't beat, and that is range. Because True-Minded Gaming have a severe lack of range compared to Cope. Okay, we have the Corki and Hui super outranged the Vayne, and Veigar does have the best range on the team. Is no slouch in that department, but is certainly not going to be able to match Midnight. And Corki with the Rockets is also going to be able to poke the Veigar. So while they are going to be very strong in terms of being able to fight, they're going to get poked out. And that is a huge factor the deeper we go into this game. And so even though they're going to be very strong, they can just get chunked in a matter of seconds, and all that scaling factor is going to go out the window.
Yeah, completely. You're completely right on that. And that poke factor will really make it hard to set up for these objectives, right? Especially with your only front line being Olaf Xin like, not quite the tankiest of champions. You don't have like a Scion or something to just walk in and tank up the poke, allow you to set it for the dragons. It may be hard to get in towards the pit for these 3rd and 4th dragons. As Joss down in the bot lane, Sorsa and Omari are here though. Ooh, Hook misses, Depth Charge goes out, but the Pop Blossom hits 3 again from Crushing Arc. Everybody is TPing in. It is a party in the bot lane, but that TP does not look good from Icy Rain. He's right in the middle. Available, but ooh, the Spiraling Despair hits it, flashes away at the last second. Not going to fall to the way yet. Depth Charge has to be flashed by Stone Cold as well. Omari flashed as well, I believe. Oh, but Ginger is here full health with flashes in with the Crescent Guard. Has those Sundered Sky procs coming through, but he is getting low. He is falling too quick. No, Source is just too strong. The 7th kill for the Gwen. Jost has teleported back in. He's here with Home Guards, puts the pillar down on Icy Rain. He will fall. So will the Olaf. It is a bloodbath
Oh,
for the bot lane.
wait.
Corki picks up a double, picks up a triple at the last second with a Fox Bob, saves his life with the barrier. Stone Cold Incel, the only one left alive for TMGD. The Copers come out on top.
And what are we fighting for down here? I guess the Scuttle Crab.
For the fun of fighting, Crims. You don't understand. We want to lose the game on bot wave.
That was 8 flashes being burned there. More like 7. Floops and Crushing Rock do have their flashes still, though. So for the next team fight, they are going to have their flashes up. Everyone else, though, no flashes for them. Who does that benefit? I think it's going to benefit Copium a lot more. They have the Nautilus hook to engage. It's going to be a lot more difficult for people to avoid Source Walker if they don't have their defensive summoner. So in terms of blowing a bunch of summoners, who does that advantage? It's going to go Copium.
Absolutely. And you said it in the middle of the fight there. Gwen is immune, right? It is just so hard to get onto Source. Level 13, 2.5 items already. Dragon spawning in about a minute 30. Not an objective up at the moment, even though Cope is grouped up. But yeah, look, if you can force a fight, I respect Joss so much for what he did there. Oh, excuse me. Otacon has just spawned. I didn't realize quite what time it was on the map without the timer. Otacon is here, so they are grouping up around the bot side for that. It should be free. Gwen completely melts this Otacon, but if you're TMGD, do you have to try and contest? Looks like yes. Stone Cold walking in.
Very well.
Yeah, checking into the Nautilus. Ooh, good cage. It's gonna, wow, clap the Nautilus immediately. Crescent Guard used, though. Ginger not really gonna be able to get into the fight as well. Icy Rain on the top side doesn't have teleport, so this is a 4v4. Just falls to the Otacon on the way combined. Ginger is in there, gonna try and look for the smite secure onto the Otacon. Doesn't get it. Source picks it up. Corki grabs another kill. Floop in no man's land. Has flash. Can he run away from the Trundle on the Gwen? I don't think so. Gets pillared up. Oh, good stun from the Vigar. Trundle will fall, but Corki is in there, and this Corki is fed now. 2 Fast Bomb connects. Vigar falls. Icy Rain wasn't even in this team fight. He's gonna pick up the tier 2 on top lane, but the Otacon to the Copers, you gotta imagine that's a trade they're happy with.
Yeah, tier 2, I mean, I guess it's about even. They do, with the big deal is they did get the team fight win. So they're going to get a bunch more gold from that. Source, just picking up more gold casually, going to be free items soon. Death Cap, once that comes in, that's going to be health bars deleting. God. Yeah. So that's going to be very nice for the side of Copium here. Floops, though, was able to get out of that fight, surprisingly. But now with Dragon spawning, I mean, no more flash. Or Ghost coming soon, but no flash.
Look, the Vayne is not getting caught to the extent that I thought Vayne was, but it's just not really having an impact in these fights, right? He just can't get anything done. How do you play into the Gwen in these front-to-back fights as Vayne? I just don't think you can. This second dragon for Cope is going to fall. 2 dragons to each team now, but it does feel like with every passing minute, the Death Knights fall just a little bit further behind as Joss in the mid lane, going to try and find a... Oh, yeah, Nautilus hook onto the pillar, gets him into the cage, though. Poploss going to find... Still stunned up, runs in, falls again, an overextension in the mid lane from Cope as the Death Knights get a little something back.
Wait,
what can they turn this
Rain?
into? Yeah, Icy Rain is just on the split push. He's going to take a tier 3 tower. He might even get an inhib off of this. They're going to have to back off now, maybe give away the mid tier 1 as, oh, Ginger is in there. You do not win those against Corki. Overextensions on both sides, and look at what Source did. He grabbed the bot tier 1 as well, trying to make sure they're always trading something back on the map, but someone needs to come stop Icy Rain.
Yeah, Source is here. Probably can win this. Oh, here we go. Ragnarok gonna be pop.
Should win the 1v1. Needlework is coming out.
Needles.
Yeah, the needlework doesn't quite work. Icy Rain will win the isolated 1v1, but again, it is never a 1v1 with the Copers. They are always running around the map. Corki gets there just in time, picks up the kill. Icy Rain didn't quite finish off the inhib, but still is really making that split push threat a real win condition for them with 2 grubs. He's getting a lot done in the side lane.
Well, no one's really stopping Icy Rain.
Yeah, no one's even trying to contest him.
Yeah, it just completely unmitigated split pushing here. I do understand, like, yeah, if someone's split pushing, you just throw the hook out for a team fight, but Source wasn't there. That was a 3v4 at best. And you could see he just completely annihilated the Nautilus. Not very tanky in the current meta, but
yeah.
Still, Copium are very strong. Ice Rain's doing a really good job of helping the team pick up gold that they otherwise shouldn't by the split pushing. I mean, pretty much knocked down all the turrets in their lane. Probably going to work on bot lane now as we have Source Walker shadowing Midnight, which would be a pretty good bait for Icy Rain here. We'll see if they take the bite.
Yeah, looks like he will. He's walked up. He is trying to take that wave best he can. Pops the Ragnarok. He's going to flash out as well, but the Needlework connecting Spiraling Despair hits as well. Oh my god, that last proc on the Needlework does so much damage with the Rabadon. Source picks up an easy kill on the side lane. And yeah, look, you're absolutely right. It was an overextension in the mid lane. The Nautilus hook was not necessary without Source there, but all of the carries stayed alive. They still all have their shutdowns. Enormous shutdowns on all of the carries for Copers. It's just so easy for them to play these fights. Who cares if Nautilus and Trundle die every fight? Gwen is 9-1.
Yeah, I mean, all they're doing is just landing enough CC for Source Walker to knock them down. That's all they need to do. As they're going to get mid turret. And it's going to be map control going over to Copium here. Baron's on the field. And you have to be very scared of a Gwen sneak at any point in time. Gwen is so strong right now. Might be able to just solo Baron. Certainly can do it with someone else.
Yeah, I think probably absolutely could solo Baron. It would take a little while, but even just Gwen and Trundle would melt through a Baron. Normally an issue for Corki, so good that they have high DPS sustain champs on the other side. Gold lead, now, I'll argue it looks smaller than it is. Icy Rain has a lot of random gold from these towers, but I just don't think the Olaf is going to be able to exert that gold lead in any sort of team fight scenario. So I think that, like, yes, the gold lead looks like it's only about 3k. I think Copers are up much more than 3k effectively.
Yeah, because of just 13k on their Gwen is just so valuable. And 11k on the Olaf, while that's very good, the problem is there's just enough damage on Copia to knock down this Olaf. So it's not as good as a lead. But I mean, if Olaf stays in this 1v1 versus Jost, Icy Rain can definitely leverage this gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Joss starts opting into the 1v1. She hasn't been, although we have a bit of a fight up here on the top side. Ginger pops the Crescent Guard, but he just gets... Oh, he flashes out of the wall. Gonna try and heal back up with the Krugs. Oh, falls to Spiraling Despair. Source just barely makes it out. Gonna take the Hex Gate around. Ginger escaped at the last second. Crushing Rock fell so close to picking up that enormous shutdown on Source's head. Well played the Ginger, but... At the end of the day, Midnight again clutches up the fight, does so much damage on the Fway as well, has the range, stays safe, and Source escapes with his life. 1v1 on the bot side of the map didn't amount to anything. Icy Rain and Joss just sort of backed off. Baron is up, but Dragon is up in 20 seconds. You have to imagine Copers are going to go for it. Will TMG Death Knights contest?
Yeah, that's a bit of a tilter. Key ultimate being burned. Ginger does not have the Crescent Strike or Crescent Guard. That is huge deal for Xin to be able to survive, especially into this Hui and Corki, who are so strong right now. 3 items apiece.
I'd like to note there's also no Vayne ultimate. Not quite sure where that got popped, but Vayne has an ultimate. Ooh, Trundle may have overextended, walked a little in. River on his lonesome, gets stunned up there by the Nico, gonna fall before the Dragon. Really nice pick for TMGD. Now, Icy Rain on a bit of a flank. Can they turn this into more of a team fight win, or just do they get the Dragon? They may not even... Yeah, they're going to start it up, but they may not even win the 5v4. Icy Rain going to have to come in from the back with the flank, and he is here. Source spots him out, Dragon down to 7k. Not going too far down yet. Crescent Guard is back up. They're turning on Icy Rain. They're trying to catch him. Yeah, Sky goes godlike, catching up the Nico. Icy Rain look for the flank, didn't get it. Death Knights get the Dragon, but at what cost? 2 down. Baron is going to be so easy for the Copers to do.
And you could see there Midnight and Corki on Sky just doing so much damage from afar. They don't have to engage. They did get caught by the cage, but there was just enough damage already put down that they were not able to find an angle in. And now they're going to be able to pick up Baron here. They do lose the Dragon, and there it is, Soul Point. But if they get the Baron, it doesn't matter so much for the side of Copium. They can just use Baron, get the push, get the next Dragon safely, and they should also contain map control the whole way through.
Yeah, you're completely right. I don't think that Dragon ends up mattering at all. I love that you pointed out the range on Corki and Hui was what kept TMD out of the fight, right? It really looked like TMG might be able to make something work with the Olaf flank, but they couldn't quite engage with the Olaf. Olaf ended up getting picked because Corki and Hui were keeping the rest of the team at bay. Ginger was down to like half HP before the fight even started, before his ultimate even came back up. So yes, they secure the Dragon, but the gold lead has exploded. Now 5k plus the Otacon plus the Baron buff as well. It's going to be even more when these towers start falling. Sourcewalker almost up to level 18, Midnight as well. Source is on 4 completed items. This Gwen is a powerhouse. 1k shutdowns on the Gwen and on the Corki. A team fight could turn the gold quite a lot, but I just don't see a world where they're killing.
Now the Siege. Corki plus Hui Baron Siege is nasty.
Into Vayne, man. How do you clear the waves?
I mean, Vhagar has to be there. There's just no other explanation for defense. And they can keep Vhagar preoccupied with mid here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about this group, though. They should probably keep Midnight a lot closer to their Corki.
Yeah, it would be nice. They're going to get the tier 2 bot side. Yeah, Icy Rain pushes out the wave on top. Going to recall and join his team, trying to clear the wave as well. They might not be able to get much more with this Baron, and the Baron won't quite overlap with the next Dragon, of course. Actually, probably fall off.
They should go for some poke right about now. And
yeah, if you could poke them off from the tower, that'd be quite nice. Vhagar recalling means you could just take this tower. Like, Vayne can't clear this wave. Joss feels a little sectioned off. Icy Rain maybe looking for some kind of flank. Can't get it. Inhib is open. Oh, Hook connects on the Ginger. Flashback out from the Nautilus. Got the Crescent Guard down, though. See if they want to go back in. Yeah, Sourcewalker is popping the needlework. A great depth charge. Oh, Pop Blast about a 4 from Crushing Rock. Does it matter? No, there's no damage to follow.
Wait, Sourcewalker? Sourcewalker is down, and now they have Icy Rain charging down the back line. Oh,
yes.
Hit.
Stunned up by the cage. We'll see if they can keep it going. The 3 left alive. Oh, that's a great pillar, but is it going to work out in their favor? Vhagar still alive, kiting back. Oh, Midnight got stunned up as well. He's going to fall to Floops. Sky is so low. The only remaining Copers push in just too far, and they don't even get the inhib.
Oh, flashing to get those kills was their doom. And they barely missed the inhib kill. Just one more attack from a Baron empowered minion probably would have sent that inhibitor to a reconstruction. But now, 1 minute and 30. Sky's going to just pick up a little bit of minions here on the top side. Flashes down across the board. Floops has flash. Ginger has flash.
Can this Vayne really get anything done in the team fight? We'll see. Yeah, 15k. Gold on the Vayne is actually pretty strong. 8 kills now after picking up so much from that team fight. We'll see if Floops can make the difference in this last Dragon fight. Now that with the Dragon up in a minute, this is where the soul point matters, right? This is where getting that Dragon is maybe a little better than getting Baron, especially when you int away some of the gold by giving over those shutdowns. Now, Sky's shutdown didn't go over. Very important, but Floops is on 4 full items plus upgraded boots. Gonna see what he gets here. Yeah, just grabbing an elixir before this fight. Both teams know that this fight could decide the game.
Yeah, this is basically the game decider right here. Looks like Hope are going to be able to get first move into the river. 30 seconds away from Dragon, so they have a bit of a timer to get control. Throwing down the ward's going to clear. They're giving a mid prio now. They've gone way too far, overshot their tempo here. They have to fight for the wave. TP coming in, Icy Rain joining the fray, and they're going to be defending this line brush.
Yeah, so I love this from the Death Knights. Death Knights are the one on soul point. They're fine to say, hey, if you want to take your entire mid lane if you give up the wave, but now that they've pushed the wave in, taken the tier 1, they get first move over to the Dragon. They get to set up. Now Vision is still in control of the Copers. Oh, Inso might be caught out, took a greedy path, doesn't have the flash up. Oh, but Source got it too far. Crescent Guard popped. Source is in the stasis. Can he pick off Ginger? Yeah, gets him with the Crescent Guard. Source still alive. Crushing Rock, pop blossom on a 2. Olaf is in the middle of everyone with the Ragnarok. He just can't quite out-heal them, and Sourcewalker is still alive. Oh, and he gets picked off just at the end. Floops, the last one remaining for the Death Knights, is running for the hills, but he is not long for this world. The Copers are gonna pick him off. They're gonna push down mid, and they are gonna end this series.
Oh, they are able to win the team fight. The range was such a huge factor. Midnight just doing so much damage in that last team fight. They were a bit over eager to kill Source and just extended right into his range and just annihilating the team from afar. And they are going to be picking up the win off the back of that team fight. It was a close game 3, but in the end, the Copium is going to be giving them the win. Conduit picking up a victory, 1-0 on their start in Titan here. And they're going to be very happy with starting off on a win.
Absolutely. I think this is a series you could be really, really proud of as the Conduit Copers. Source proving why he is time and again power ranked as probably the best jungler in the league. He plays these carries with such effectiveness. Was great on the engage, right? Was great on the playmaking junglers as well in game 1 and 2, but shows here why he is a carry jungler. 12-2 on the Gwen, dealing 28k. Not quite as much, actually. Hey, look, Stone Cold Incel did a lot of damage on the Vigar there, but like, such great work, especially I just really want to shout out all 3 of the carries on Midnight, Sky, and Source, playing so well in these fights, escalating their leads in this game 3, and really, really, really pushing TMG to their.
Yeah, I think Midnight played exceptionally well in game 3.
Yep.
You know, backing up to the wall pressure, you really have to make sure your plays are winning, and was willing to make some daring plays to get the team a lead, and ends up pulling up ahead here. And in that last fight, I think basically just gave them the win. So Midnight, good job game 3. For overall MVP though, including the whole series, I'm gonna give it to Source, just the way the whole game played out. But in terms of the last game, the person who kind of pushed it over the edge for them to win the game is definitely Midnight.
Yeah, and can't forget Sky's incredible game 1 performance on Sivir, right? I agree it does go to Source, but it's close. This team really has a lot of threats. They have threats all across the board. They can carry from any of those positions. Like, really, really well played. And hey, signs of life for TMG. The Death Knight.
Yeah, I think that they had some.
There was a lot great going on even in this game.
Yeah, they had some pretty good individual plays across the board. Just couldn't really pull a chain of them together to win the series. They got their game win in number 2, but man, you know, game 3 came around, and after the Source Walker quadra kill, it was starting to look a bit rough.
Yeah, that's a hard one to come back for. And all 3 of these games were completely decided by just like random bot lane skirmishes. You know what I mean? It was a bloody one in that regard. But again, hey, some really nice plays, like big pop blossoms from the Nico, that sort of thing was really clean. Some nice Olaf play, like a good in the side lanes, really great game 2 performance from Floops, right? Death Knight's still a strong contender in this league, like very clearly not an opponent to be taken lightly, but the Copers, Conduit Copers, proving why they are power ranked up towards the top, right? This is a scary team coming out to an early lead. Going to be one of the best teams in Group B. But that's it from us here today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Mojo Pal. That's Crims. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.